Are we live again? Okay. So. Wait, yes or no? It showed that I was. Take two. Yeah. I'm live. I think. I should be live on a new stream. So. Sorry about that, guys. That was a YouTube-wide thing. We're coming back up. Can we get back up to 500? We were crushing it. 500 viewers. That's the highest YouTube stream I've had recently. And then, yeah, how about dem Twitch, eh? Maybe that, 50-50 split isn't so bad. Something really weird is going on in YouTube. Because, yeah, like right when I went down, I was, like, checking and refreshing. It is Turbo. Patch 2.5 is live. Everything except for the Sunder Charms is live. Went up yesterday. It wasn't worldwide. Other YouTube streams were working fine. It might have been based on your server location, White. Because I went and checked 4 individual streams, including Dr. Disrespects, and it was down, and he went from like 25,000 down to 5,000 viewers. And his chat was spamming, like, what's going on? Stream crash. So it might have been server related on maybe, maybe your end? But, like, maybe you just got lucky. Because, yeah. Okay, Phil's stream went down, Dr. Disrespect's stream went down. But yeah, anyways, it could be, I mean, I don't know, whatever. I went from 500 down to 100 viewers, so clearly something was tanking. Okay, DB Terror 5, if anybody wants to join. We're up again, but how about switching back to Twitch? What do you guys think? God, Twitch is so good. Gonna go back to that 50-50 split.
Come to my shop.
Oh, well. We'll work through it. Kind of a bummer, but... I am not chasing the puzzle. I could not care less. Not smart enough, and I think it's pointless to personally chase it down. I don't think it's going to be any game-breaking thing. It's cool. I'd rather save that to smarter people, to be honest. They're not working with traps or hydras still? But how could you test that? They said that they were going to address it, but there currently is not Sunder Charms, if I'm correct. Sunder Charms are not going to actually be dropping till the game goes live. So I'm curious how you... Their first iteration, they weren't working. But then they said that they were going to address it. So... it's going to take their word for it that they have. Oh, I didn't respec my... Yeah, it might help to add some extra vitality, huh? Yeah, and unfortunately no Sunders for single player. I did actually request that. I said that a lot of people from my community have mentioned they really wanted to have Sunder Charms in single player. I know that the Terror Zones isn't a simple copy and paste, but... See, this is a really good example of, in my opinion, like if this zone spawned terrorized and I was going to be a Javazon, I wouldn't really be here. I would, no, like I'm testing live right now. The 2.5 server is live. Yeah, everything is live except for they don't have the Sunder Charms. Don't drop yet. But this would be an example, and if anyone wants to join, is DB Terror 5. We were up and running until YouTube crashed globally. But this would be an example of, like, I just wouldn't farm this area if it become terrorized, if I was lightning. Maybe if I had a lightning Sunder Charm, and maybe if I had Infinity, but currently only have Plague, so... It's tough because it depending on your perspective. I think it's true. Like if you like the competitive race of like grinding Bale and Neelithak over and over again, and then I guess yeah, you might think that you might not like it. But there's the argument of like, okay, you can hit it in 30 hours as a dedicated group of 8 people crushing content together. Which is true, but there's not a lot of people that have access to a consistent 8-man group. There's just not. And if you try and find like public terror zones, you're going to have a hard time, in my opinion, doing consistent 8-man runs. So I don't necessarily know if basing like experience rates off of a small select group of individuals that... Like there's not a lot of people that can do dedicated 8-man runs for the first 30 hours of ladder to get 99. So like... I feel like you want to try and balance it a little bit more towards the entire player base and not just a select few. Now, that being said, I haven't done experience calculations or anything like that. Like, I don't know how much easier it truly makes it, but... Yeah, they will. And I'm saying, and that's totally fine. Like, they're going to crush it as an 8-man group together, but I just don't think that they're a good representation of the entire player base. That's all that I'm trying to say. Like, even the technique they used to get to 99 was insane, but that's not realistic either. Like, having... YouTube-wide crashed, Coz. Dr. Disrespect crashed. Like, everyone's live stream crashed. So, a little bit of a bummer. We had, like, 500 viewers in the first 20 minutes, and then it just completely crashed, but... We have 7 more minutes of this shitty farming. Testing the Shockwave Druid and the tooltip is wrong. It does like 3 times. I did not know that, Josh. I've never messed around with Shockwave other than being basically a 1-point wonder for some stun control on like a Fireclaw setup. I've never actually messed around with like a full-on decked out Shockwave. Like I always thought that the damage was just not enough to really justify a build like that. Okay. I'm gonna go do a chaos run until the next till the next Terrai zone spawns. Good day. This is actually painful. Waiting around for a lower res proc to go off. Oh geez, I don't even have the River Flame waypoint. Does anyone in chat? Could everyone give me the River Flame waypoint? Something really weird happened to YouTube gaming specifically, Doc. So, I guess Sweet Phil was live at the same time. He's in the States, entirely different connected server. His stream went down. My stream went down. A bunch of other people's streams went down, so. Haven't found anything yet so far. The game name is, I believe it's DB Terror 5. I'll make a new game shortly. Thank you for the waypoint, Fury. Carry zones last for an hour. So every hour they cycle, so there's 5 minutes until the next zone cycles. And I'm just hoping for a little bit better of an area. This is, like, Chaos Sanctuary is a way better area than Stony Tombs. Stony Tombs is very preferable to fire damage dealing characters, where it's kind of pretty bad for a Javazon, especially if you don't have Affinity. Because this character does not have Infinity. So I'm kind of reliant on lower resistance procs to go off. Let's kind of skip this content. And I'm sorry, guys, I don't actually have TP scrolls on me, so... Oh, I do, yeah, they're in my belt. Guys, I worked really late last night and I stayed up uber late to make a video. I'm sorry. I'm just so tired right now. Oh, I can't think. Sorry, Husky. This is actually pretty cool. I didn't really get an opportunity to play around with a ton of summon necros. Sorry, summon druids. It's kind of cool to play with different characters. I dig. What's up, James? How you doing, man? DB is tired. DB is not thinking straight. DB saying stupid things. More stupid than normal. Like, usually I'm pretty stupid normal, but like, I mean more stupid than normal. How's James today? Chris! Thank you so much for the Pull Room membership, my dude. Thank you. Welcome to the D2 membership. I'm well, my friend. Good to see you. I'm doing really good, man. I feel like on YouTube, I probably am going to be seeing you more, right? Let me guess, you can watch at work. Good to see you, James. Thank you again, Chris. Okay, guys, we're going to do another one. DB Terror 6 open game. Oh, that's Mango? Mango, what's going on, brother? What's going on? I'm not entirely fully committed to Twitch, or to YouTube over Twitch, but the more and more that Twitch just keeps doing stupid shit, the more and more that I feel like YouTube fits better into my scheduled time that I have for making content. I have a bigger audience on YouTube already. I get a better revenue split than YouTube. I can have custom membership levels. There's a lot of things that are way better on YouTube. Like, Twitch just has a better chat. Like, let's just put it there. Oh, Fist Evans Paladin with Conviction? Oh, yes. Yes, who is that? GG, let's go. Let's crush. We don't know if... It's looking now like it's more like it's a puzzle. Easter egg puzzle, but it's probably not going to be stackable gems, but at the time of like 9 o'clock last night, the community was kind of hinting towards that that's what it was going to be. Oh, Talrasha Tombs! Okay, guys. After this Chaos run, let's go crush Tombs. Talrasha Tombs, again, I think there's a lot of lightning unions there, so it's probably not ideal for Javazon. But Talrash's Tombs is going to be one of the top areas to spawn Yeah, let's crush Tal Rasha Tombs, boys. Yeah, I covered in the video how shared stash tabs are going to work with the next ladder. So basically you have all of Season 2 to remove items. They're going to be like withdraw only tabs. And then when the start of Season 3 happens, if you haven't removed them, the items will be deleted. So you have an entire season to have these items like be replaced. Thank you so much, Matthew Smith, coming in with the Pull Room membership. My dude, thank you. Thank you so much. You know what's crazy? A Pull Room membership level at the better YouTube split is basically I get the same amount of money as a full $5 sub on Twitch. Is that not crazy? If I get more,
What do you need?
more subs at a lesser value on YouTube, I'm still gonna make more money. It's crazy. Thank you so much, Matthew. Okay, boys, we're gonna do this. I don't care about items, but we gotta crush this as a coordinated group. So let's go down here, this tomb, the circle one. Oh. Guys, we gotta squat up. No one cares about drops. We gotta squat up. Let's just squat up and crush. There we go. This is what I'm hoping to do when ladder drops. I want to play with a small, dedicated, consistent group that we share drops together. So I'm probably going to get... I want to put together like a channel on my Discord. So if you guys want to join my Discord, I got a link in the description. But I want to get like a tight-knit group of like 20 people where we're just going to crush Terror Zones together and just share items. Really want to make like a community-based run group. It can even be larger than 20. It's just I want like dedicated people that are going to work like together. But it should be pretty fun. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that, man. Okay, so that's that tomb down. We'll go to the next one. James, what character are you going to be playing as? Barb Buddy? This type of content almost reminds me of like Path of Exile mapping. Like this is... I'm really excited for this stuff. In my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really hard fast. I really do believe this, that Sunder Charms does not. You have to have Infinity for the Sunder Charm to really shine, unless like maybe a couple small exceptions, like maybe like a Fire Druid with like a Raven Lore, so you can stack some like extra negative res. I think there's like a couple. There's a couple examples, but for the most part, I feel like you really got to get that Sunder Charm and Infinity. Now, I think this is going to make Sunder Charms super, especially if they're relatively rare, I feel like they're going to be highly sought after and expensive items to buy, which I think is going to have an interesting impact on the trading commodity. Now, the Cold Sorceress is the only exception, Justin. You're absolutely correct. Now, again, it just depends on how much, or just, sorry, it just depends on how often these drop, right? If they drop like candies, yeah, it's going to be a problem. If it's relatively rare, because I think some streamers worked it out that even at Geed's Grand Charm rarity, it's actually still a relatively rare drop. So we'll see. It's just going to be, it's going to be interesting. I just don't like to have knee-jerk reactions. I just like to actually get an idea before, like, you know what I mean? But well, so they only drop off champions and boss packs, right, Game Links? That's what Sunder Charms. And Macro made a video where he just used an example of one of the Travancore Council members. And it was actually, you're actually more likely to drop, according to the drop calculator, it's about similar rarity or slightly harder to drop a Geed's Grand Charm off that monster than it is to drop a Burr Rune. So I don't... Again, time will tell. Like, people will data mine and they'll actually figure out the true rarity. But, And I could be wrong. I've never ever refused to admit if I'm wrong. I mean, they could be next to nothing. That really could be it. But I think two things. One is I think adding the varying stat roll. I think that at least, in my opinion, the varying stat roll adds more value to them. Because it's not just you find one, you're done. You're always hunting for a better and better one. So I think that's going to improve like the longevity. And we don't truly know the drop rates yet, but maybe you're right. Maybe they'll be super common, and that could very well be the case. I don't know. I'm wondering how many bots are going to be on ladder, because remember they did that massive ban wave, and they really took out a lot of the botting community. So it'll be interesting to see.
It is an honor to serve you.
Will the tear zones be in offline mode? For the time being, no. They've committed that they won't be. They said it's not just a simple, easy copy and paste. That was their words specifically. I don't know how true that is. And I did advocate and ask for having at least the Sunder Charms drop in single player, because I know there's a big offline community that would like to experience and play around with them, but they said that for now is going to be online, ladder only was going to have access. That's a bit of a bummer, but I did ask to try and get it for you guys. Yeah, boys, if you wouldn't mind, the single best and easiest way to support my stream is throwing a like on it, believe it or not. So where did this corner one, guys? I'll open up TP. Oh, you guys are already ahead of me. God dang. Rob Money coming in with the Istrun membership, my dude. Thank you so much. God, you guys are way ahead. Did you guys clear this entire tomb when we were doing the Duriel tomb? My God. You know what? This is making me kind of rethink the Fire Druid. The only reason being is I feel like if you have slow teleport in a group, you're gonna get left behind. And Javazon has slow telly. Maybe I should stick to a Blizzard Sorceress.
I am overburdened.
But the patch is actually live, guys. Everything except for the Sunder Charm. So the Terror Zones... This is kind of like their test after their test. So they tested PTR. Now they're testing... I'm sorry, I pronounced tier incorrectly. Sorry, I pronounced tier incorrectly. Thank you for the Istrun membership. Okay, next one. Are Sunder Charms ladder only drops? Yes. They've committed to being ladder only. Potentially migration to single player or Sunder Charms, potentially in the future. Probably wouldn't expect to see... Like, I wouldn't bank on Sunder Charms... Or sorry, I think Sunder Charms might make it single player in the future. I wouldn't bank on Terror Zones ever making it into single player. But I think this is really interesting, like, group-based farming content. I don't know. To me, this is so much, like, I know that you do this with, like, low-level characters to, like, bring them up, but I think that this is, kind of, like, just shifting what you're always used to. Chaos and Bale, repeat, Bindle, whatever. Pretty cool. I'm still gonna say it again. The loot is absolutely atrocious. This game needs a loot filter, like, so bad. Especially on 8-man Terror Zones. Like, I'm sorry. The loot is just absolutely atrocious. You can hardly, like, there's just so much shit on the screen all the time. It's just horrible. Gonna keep advocating for that loot filter, boys. We'll keep trying, but... Like, if I had this type of gear, like, when I get this type of gear, if I had access to a loot filter, I would have the strictest loot filter ever. What is a loot filter? It's something that you can use to minimize what you want to see show up on the screen. So, for example, as a Javazon, I'm never going to be picking up bolts and arrows, so I would remove bolts and arrows from showing up. With the high-end character, I'm never going to be picking up cracked items. I would remove cracked items from showing up. Gold piles, I only really want to pick stuff that's like 5,000 gold and up. So small gold piles, I would filter them out so you couldn't see them. It's just a way of like tailoring your experience of what items you see, which is something that I've advocated for. That I think that the game needs so bad, but. I've tried for a loot filter forever, man. I don't know. I'll keep pushing. Guys, quick question. Is my little bar below, is it like the bar above my potions? Is it identifying with like new supers and stuff? Because I just set that up 10 minutes before I went live with Stream Elements. So I just want to, like, is it actually functioning? I think that's a full canyon, guys. Okay, I'll make a new game. It is updating? Okay. Perfect. If loot filters already exist online for D2R, they are against the terms of service. So you can use them on single player. You can use them online, but you're risking getting banned. Just want to point that out there. Let's start at the bottom here, guys. TP's up. I want to play with a... Like, I want to play with a Conviction Foden so bad when ladder starts. So bad. No one hates Barb? I hate the Barb. The Barb is by far my least favorite character. Again, that's just me. I know some people love the Barb, but... definitely not the character for me. But my plan with Reset with the team I'm putting together is I will be a Fire Druid, but I'm also going to put 20 R points into Oak Sage. And then we'll be playing with a Barb, so we'll have a Leap Barb with max Battle Orders and max Oak Sage. And then we're going to run 2 Paladins, a Conviction Paladin and a Salvation Paladin. Salvation Paladin's not really used in like the meta speedrunning, but just having a Salvation active all the time will do wonders for like counteracting some of the resistance issues that you sort of suffer from with brand new characters. So I'm okay with a little bit slower of a playthrough versus more challenging. And then I think we're going to run a Necro with Dim Vision. And, okay, next tune, guys. TP's up. Yeah, we'll have Dim Vision set up. Really just like a curse bot to support the playthrough. Maybe and then some Corpse Explosion. We'll see. This is my character from the first official season. I had 2 builds of Fist Evans Paladin and a Javazon. And no, Sunder Charms are not in the game yet. Sunder Charms will be dropping October 6th. But the terrorized zones and everything is working as it will on ladder. And right now we have Talrasha Tombed, which is pretty sick. Best possible area to MF. I really think it's actually the best. I don't know. What do you guys think? You get a Duriel kill, 7 tombs. You can also clear the entire... oh no, the canyon, I think the canyon doesn't count. It's just the tombs, but... If it's not the best, it's definitely top 3. Just like the amount of like density, easy to kill monsters. The boss kill is kind of cherry on top, but wouldn't expect anything crazy. Bareback the map? Worldstone's the best. Worldstone has really good density, super good location. The only thing about Worldstone is if you compare relative monster difficulty, these monsters are a lot easier to kill. You don't have dolls running up in your face, and like, Worldstone Keep can be nasty. So if you don't include, like, if you just assume top of the line gear so that you can complete, so that you can clear both, then yes, I think you could make the argument that Worldstone Keep is as good or maybe slightly better. But when you weigh in everything as a whole, in my humble opinion, I think I would rather be crushing these monsters because they're a lot easier to kill. And you get the same amount of experience. It works on your character level if it's a terror zone, Justin. It works on your character level. So a regular monster is +2 your character level, champion is +4, and a boss is +5. So if you're 95, the monsters here become 97, 99, and 90, whatever. Like, you get the idea. It's scales based on your character level.
It is an honor to serve you.
No charms yet, but they're not actually enabled to drop. They're only going to start dropping when the actual official ladder drops. We're on patch 2.5. They've updated the patch. It's just the actual new charms will only drop October 6th, the beginning of the new ladder. And are you guys somewhat excited? Nope, this is actually online, Julian. Anybody can join if you guys want. I'm doing open games. Are you guys somewhat excited now that, like, when a unique Grand Charm drops, it's more than just Geed's Grand Charm? Like, it could be one of the 6 Sunder Charms, or it could be a Geed's Grand Charm. Like, I just think it adds, like, a little bit more excitement. And on top of that, new varying rules, right? So... I'm looking forward to the changes. New tomb up, boys. I don't know. That's actually a really good question, Deuce. But see, like, usually, like, the whole idea of, like, selling a unit item is you know what it's gonna be. So if you could sell, like, a unit diadem for higher than if you rolled a really low Griffins, right? But the idea is you wouldn't get as much if you rolled a really high Griffins, but you get a guaranteed value. But then if you identify your Griffins and it's super low, it's less, right? Like, that's sort of the whole idea behind unidentified trades. I don't know if unidentified GCs will work, because I don't think someone's going to pay a lot if there's a potential that it'll be a Geeds. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you buy something muted, you know what it's going to be. But, it'll be interesting to see. The wording is really muddy, so they could potentially drop in normal and nightmare. New tomb up. The only thing that I do know is that you don't unlock a Terror Zone until you've completed Bale in that respective difficulty. So you have to kill normal Bale to unlock Terror Zones in normal, Nightmare Bale for Terror Zones in nightmare, etc. Right? Like, you get the idea. But they didn't specifically, like, we know that Sunder Charms drop from Championship boss packs and Terror Zones, but they didn't specifically state that they don't start dropping in Hell. So I'm assuming maybe they drop in... I really don't know. But do we know what the confirmed item level requirement is of the charms, Kyle? Because if it's Nightmare and it goes all the way up to 75, if it's lower than 75, technically it would maybe drop in Nightmare and Hell. But do we know that? I'm sure someone's probably looked into like the coding, figured it out. I'm just way too lazy for that shit. I'm just using common sense based on drop rates. I'm imagining that they're not going to start dropping until you farm a lot of Hell content. So just gonna bank on not seeing one until Hell. Kind of what I'm thinking, but. What's up, Sir Fox? No, they're not in single player, my friend. Tarasha Tombs is another area that will be amazing as a fire character, especially if you have Infinity. Infinity and the Fire Center Charm. Like, a Fire Sorceress will run through the tombs. A very powerful option. Sorry, did you mention a specific item level that I missed, Kyle? Meanwhile, Walking Oridon. Walking Oridon if you have insane gear. Remember, if you really want the Oridon to work, you need... Like, Oridon is Dual Dream, Dragon, Hand of Justice. So the amount of runes there is insane. And then, like, it's not, like... Sunder Charm and a Lightning Charm will make it stronger. But then I'm wondering, how are you going to counteract the massive negative lightning and fire resistance? Like, I'm wondering if... Do you guys think items like Thunder Gods and, like, Rising Sun, do you think that they'll rise in value? Like, what if I'm a Fire Druid? I'm wondering now with Thunder Charms, do you think that... Like, would Rising Sun have the potential to be worth more? Well, yeah, Flickering Flame is a really good way to counteract, yes. But you need a really good base for druids specifically, in my opinion, to make that that helmet work. I would use, if you had to pick between a plain Ravenlore or a plain Flickering Flame, I'd pick Ravenlore every time, like every day of the week. If you had a crazy plus skill base, then yes, Flickering Flame would be better. But I'm just wondering, like, a Jabazon, if you want to use a Lightning Thunder Charm, how do you counteract the negative? Like, this build has insane gear. Like, let me just, okay, let me make a new game. I'll let you guys crush Terror Zones, and I'll quickly go over my gear. But this Jabazon's gear is, in my opinion, it's almost next to perfect. I don't have an Infinity Mercenary. Full inventory of Jabba Skillers. Full inventory of faster Run Walk Small Charms. Like, this one is faster Run Walk 10 Lightning Res, 3 Lightning Res, 8 Lightning Res. So there is some room for improvement on the res. I have a 19 res Annie Charm, and I have a 12 res Torch. I have Tri-Res Boots with 36 Lightning Res on the boots. Fire Res on the gloves. I could use a different shield. This is a triple faceted Headhunter's Glory. I have High Lords for Lightning Res, and I have Griffins, right? Griffins, T-Strokes, CT on the offhand. My res is 50, 50 for fire, negative 31 for cold, 53 for lightning, and then 28. If I end up getting a negative 90 lightning res thunder charm, I'm going to be way into the negatives. Like, lightning is going to hurt a lot. So how am I going to counteract that? Either I need to sacrifice damage with scalers for lightning res. I need to maybe sacrifice Razor Tail for T-Gods. I maybe need to sacrifice Stone of Jordan for Wisp Projector Ring. Maybe like an Umrune in the Griffins instead of Facets. Like, Chains of Honor is another really good example, Andy. But what happens when I go Chains of Honor? Chains of Honor solves the res problem, but then I lose the teleport and repositioning. So there's like, there is some unintended ramifications of using some of these charms that I think people might not necessarily be fully taking into consideration. But with that being said, overall I think it's cool because, yeah, sacrifice the ID book.
Greetings.
Because let's assume I don't have Flickering Flame on my Fire Druid, right? Let's just make an assumption I don't have Flickering Flame. Rising Sun seems like a pretty cool amulet, right? With the insane absorb. So I use Rising Sun and Alder's Boots. I just feel like there's different item possibilities. Like, maybe for a cold sorceress, you get a Thunder Charm and you don't need Infinity Mercenary. If you can't overstack your res, would it maybe be a bad idea to throw, like, 2 Ravenfrost rings on your cold sorceress? 40% cold absorb? And then stack some extra cold res small charms, but you still might have, like, very poor cold res, but there's not a ton of cold damage, right? So there's kind of, like, there's a lot of different, unique setups, I think. Okay, guys, I'm going to wait in the second tomb for you guys. Inferno Strides. Inferno Strides are cool. Max Fire Res, and I think... Is it 10 Max Fire Res and 30 Fire Res? And then Hotspurs has more Fire Res and more Max Fire Res. Alder's Boots has tons of plus life and tons of Fire Res. Like, there's just... Or, I mean, I guess you could, like, just drink Thawing Pots. Again, for me, I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I will not constantly drink potions. I just won't. I'm lazy. I'll find a way that I can set up my build where I don't have to do it. And I think the Cold Sorcerer's being overpowered, I think it's been a little bit... I think it's a little bit misunderstood. In my opinion, anime. You are absolutely correct that if you happen to have an Infinity Mercenary and a Cold Thunder Charm, you're absolutely correct that that Cold Sorceress can now farm everywhere. Absolutely. But she doesn't get more damage. She can just farm more monsters in more locations. If you take the best possible Cold Sorceress now to the best possible Fire Sorceress, both with Thunder Charms, the Fire Sorceress will now exceed the Cold Sorceress in damage. So... I think the biggest resistance to the argument, or the biggest resistance to the Cold Sorceress, is you can now farm everywhere. That's provided you get a Thunder Charm, but then it is true. It will take the biggest step forward early on. Absolutely no questions asked. It takes the biggest step forward early on if you get a Thunder Charm. But if we're talking like top gear to top gear, Cold is nowhere near Fire or Lightning. When we talk endgame setup. So, like, the argument about early on, absolutely. That's a correct and fair argument to make. 100%. One of the concerns I had with, and again, you'd have to tweak things in testing and that, but I feel like there's actually more potential to make the Cold Sorceress more broken if you flipped it to plus cold damage. I think there's more potential to make it more broken. Say you double the sheet damage, and then you're just going to have Cold Sorceress is running around with Doom and Faceted Helmets. Doom, Faceted Helmets, and Infinity Mercenary, and a Cold Thunder Charm. That would make the Cold Sorceress stronger than what she is now. So, I don't know. At least that's my take on it. If you disagree, that's totally fine. Let me know. Yeah, like, Fire is provided you have Infinity and top-end gear, yeah, fire is going to be absolutely killer. But again, it's provided you... Oh, did you guys clear this already? It's provided that we have that gear. I disagree because you're talking about an elite player. So in which respect do you disagree, Sweet? Because I did mention that at a lower level, the Cold Sorceress is stronger earlier on and can farm more content. Absolutely. And it is a stronger variant than the other two, without including Infinity. I agree with you, absolutely. ET tested...
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, I didn't watch his live stream. I watched the video where he was talking about it. But
I can't carry anymore.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I would really like to test like the clear speed damage of a Cold Sorceress versus a Fire Sorceress, because I guarantee you that the Fire Sorceress, with if you're taking best possible gear on both, Fire Sorceress will clear chaos faster than Cold. It absolutely will. It just you can do that. You can do the math. It will clear faster. Cold has inherent... Yes, absolutely, I agree. Absolutely. But you could also just use an Act 2 Holy Freeze Mercenary. Oh, you guys already cleared this? I mean, maybe. You could maybe... I just have this feeling that like in Ashuta's Flickering Flame and Phoenix, that a Fireball Sorceress will clear faster than Blizzard. I really think that it will. 'Cause there's no cooldown on how fast you can cast Fireball. It's got a 2-yard radius. You can spam it at 105 FCR. You can get like 18k average damage, and then with the amount of negative res you'll get from the sources, like it will be... But again, that's assuming an elite player... To the previous point, that's assuming an elite player best possible gear. If you take average gear, Cold Sorcerers of the Cold Thunder Charm, yeah, is the strongest. There's no debating that, absolutely. You'll have everything at negative 100 sheet value damage. Once you get enough plus skills, you'll have everything at negative 100 sheet damage, and then your I don't know, say your 6k Blizzard becomes a 12k. Would you say 6k Blizzard is probably in the range of a decent sorceress? Like Viper Magi, Hodo, Spirit, or Aussie, whatever, Shaco, like just kind of like your basic gear, but not full out Skillers and Fathom. Probably be sitting around 5 or 6k Blizzard, right? So negative 100 res would boost that to 12k, which that's good damage. But then the point that I was trying to make is if you have an 18k Fireball, and then you bring a monster down to negative 100 fire res with a Thunder Charm, then that's, what, 36k, right? And then you, like, either way, it'll be interesting to do some more testing. They didn't really give us the best characters to test on PTR, and I'm not quite sure. I believe that BT probably hero edited charms correctly. But I did talk to a friend of mine who's done some modding, and he said that it is pretty difficult to sort of emulate the charms on single player, so maybe he did it perfectly, or maybe that they weren't emulated properly. I don't know. It'd be really cool, like, if he can actually emulate them properly, I would love to, like, actually do some of that testing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Cole. 100%. Cold Sorceress will be... Okay, you guys already cleared this. You guys are too fast. Quit clearing stuff so fast. Too damn good. That's the one thing I feel like if I'm going to do group farming, like, again, I want to get this Discord set up. I want to do group farming all ladder. I feel like a lot of it is going to have to be voice chat so that we can coordinate. It's kind of tough with like a 5-second stream delay to be like, shit, which tomb are you in? Oh, you cleared this tomb. It's going to be difficult to coordinate. So I'm probably going to do a lot of like voice chatting with you guys. Yeah, if you guys want to, it's just my Discord, so you can click on the description. But yeah, I really want to set up like 3-man coordinated group farming. Which it's going to be fun. I want to try put together like a tight-knit squad and then, yeah. No, there's 1 charm for every respective element. So magic, physical, and then all 4 elements. Wait, is that Foden's using fanaticism? Interesting. I was a redemption man. Cool stuff, though. I think a poison necro has the potential to be pretty cool. I mean, I think that between like fire sunder charm, so you're boosting your corpse explosion damage against fire immunes, as well as you could technically rock all 3 sunder charms on a poison necro, because you're going to boost your corpse explosion. If it's a physical immune, and then you flip to amp before you corpse explode, that's going to help you. And also a poison sunder charm for poison immunes to get the first kill. It'd be interesting. Again, it's hard to like when the PTR doesn't really give you really good characters to test, it's kind of hard to emulate like perfect geared stuff. Sunder Charms don't actually officially drop until October the 6th. But Terror Zones and their function, like, we're on the current patch that's going to be used when ladder drops in October the 6th. The only difference is we just can't drop a Sunder Charm yet. The only difference. What's up, Magic Man? How are you? We're kind of making the assumption that they're going to have similar rarity to Geed's Grand Charm, but what makes them actually really rare is the fact that they're only going to be dropping off of champions and boss packs. That's what makes it most interesting, is all these white monsters that we're slaughtering, they have 0 chance. Like, we got to drop them from this guy. Soul White the Shade is the only way that we can drop it, so... And he's just a physical and lightning immune, so it's going to skip him. But I think Kyle said that he did the data mining to see that the item level was 75, I believe he said. So which means they can start to drop as early as Nightmare, assuming that's correct. But you can't drop them in normal. I haven't actually done any coordinated, like... What I would have to do is I'd have to get an 8-man group. You'd have to do a full Terror Zone clear. Together, not split up. I'd have to see exactly how much experience I gained and how long it took me to gain that experience, and then I would have to do a bail run. But then the thing is, Terror zones are different. When the Stony Tombs become terrorized, it's nowhere near as good as
I can't carry
like
anymore.
Talrasa Tomb. So you'd have to like run like all the terror zones and like take an average to get like perfect data. But I'm just gonna skip beat those guys because we don't have a source of conviction right now. My lower res from Plague, it's not enough to break them. Level 75, unique, Terror Zone. Thank you, Kyle. So yeah. Already been done? Dude, you're way ahead of the game, man.
I can't carry anymore.
I feel like I am so busy IRL now that I feel like I'm so behind on this stuff. Like people that just like I'm just so behind. Someone's already cleared this. Okay. This has already been cleared too. Which means probably every other one has been cleared. I'm serious though. Like like the patch dropped, what was it, 2 o'clock in the afternoon? And then I was at work and I'm like, oh shit. So then I got home, walked the dogs, like had a bite to eat, spent a little bit of time with my wife. I left her hanging, which sucks, but like then I like went flying upstairs and made like a quick video. And in that time, you guys have already like data mined the item level, the charms, and all this shit. And I'm like, holy crap, man! I was like, you guys, I feel like you guys make me like look like I'm a noob. It's called getting old. Responsibilities. Oh no, no way, Mango. Hey Mango, can you do me a favor? Can you change your YouTube name to Chris to Mango? Oh, I'm the definition of a casual, man. I'm gonna be putting in max 10 hours a week on ladder. Literally max 10 hours a week. So I'm gonna be begging you guys for a Fire Thunder Charm. I'm gonna be begging you guys. Can you guys hook up DB with a Thunder Charm? I think that's fully cleared, so I'll just make a new game. DB Terror 10. If anyone wants to join. You know the feeling, Landon? I bet you people will hit 99 before I make a CTA. I bet you. We don't officially know the drop rate yet, but we're assuming that it's you have to have item level 75, and it's somewhat similar rarity to Geed's Grand Charm. That's kind of what we know so far. Oh, Nanoe's okay. Nanoe, wait up, wait up. We gotta stick to Nanoe. He's got Infinity Mercenary. Gonna stick to you like glue. See, I don't even have Infinity Merc, guys. That's how much of a noob I am. Don't even have an Infinity Merc. I think the assumption is it'll be similar. If it's a lot more rare than Geed's Grand Charm, I think it's gonna be pretty rough. Like if it's like a Burn rarity and only drops off of champions and boss packs, it's almost never gonna drop. Be very, very far and few between for it dropping. Which is fine if you're like. I think this Terror Zone will be probably my favorite Terror Zone. I'm just not running it with the most optimal build. I'm so dependent on having someone with Infinity to carry me. But this area as a fire druid or fire sorceress would crush. Like fire sorceress with a conviction Foden paladin will be amazing. I'm actually thinking, what do you guys think about a 200 FCR fire sorcerer setup? I'm thinking with like really good gear. I'm thinking that a 200 FCR fireball sorceress might be one of the best Terror Zone clearing builds. You have to sacrifice Phoenix, but if you have to sacrifice Phoenix and Flickering Flame. But if you had Infinity Mercenary, like a Fire Faceted Griffins maybe, and like a Fire Facet in your Viper Magi to try and counteract some of the you're gonna lose damage not having Infinity, but 200 FCR slinging like 16k fireballs with no fire immunes might be pretty deadly. No, wait up! Is Nano watching stream, or is he just mindless monster farming? You're our source of conviction, my friend. But I'm wondering if you sacrifice a little bit of damage, like 200 FCR slinging like 15k fireballs. That might be really powerful. Yeah, that would be an insane circlet. Absolutely, Frost. That'd be number one. Again, you guys know me. I'm lazy, right? It is so much simpler to just buy a complete bottom of the line shit Griffins, put a fire facet. Could also rock a 220 sorcerer circlet. That's another option as well. But I think I'd rather use a nice 220 than a 320, personally. I mean, I guess if you get the 2 open sockets, it's pretty cool, but there's a lot of other nice stats that you can get from a 220 that you sort of lose out on. New Terror Zone's up.
I can't carry anymore.
You prefer a nice 222? Okay, good. So it's not just me. Yeah, I was thinking about that anime, that if you were to rock, like I think a Fireclaw might be the strong. A Fireclaw Wolf might be the strongest melee build with a Sunder Charm. Because I was just thinking, if you go a Wolf, Hand of Justice and a Phase Blade, Phoenix for a shield, all shapeshifting skillers fully synergize your Fireclaw, you should be close to the range, like a Fire Faceted Ravenlord. You should be close to the range of about 20,000 damage on your Fireclaw. And then with a Sunder Charm and an Infinity Mercenary and all your negative res, every monster should be at almost negative 100 fire resistance. So if you're slapping them with 20k Fireclaw on paper, it's going to be more like 40k every Fireclaw slap. So it's going to be like... It's going to be like a Bear Sorceress, but just the fire equivalent version. And you'll have Feral Rage to run around quicker, but the biggest thing is... Oh, you guys have already killed. Biggest thing is you won't have like the teleport movement ability. That's like the biggest thing that you're missing out on. But yeah, it is AR based, but Fireclaw itself has a ton of attack rating. I think I think once you get to the highest level, I think you get 600% boost to attack rating, I think, with using it. Can't remember. It won't match Caster. It's not going to match Caster, but I feel like it is going to be the most... It's going to be the biggest sleeper melee build, if you can call it melee, in my opinion. I think it'll just... I just don't think a Whirlwind can compete with that. Slapping like 40k fire damage per claw. You're just going to one-hit everything. So, what's up, Chuck? Or Charles? Charlie? What's going on, man? If you're the correct level, because the monster level is based on your character level, Charlie, so yes, if you're the correct level, you won't need to drop Diablo Bale or Neophyte GCs for rerolling anymore. That's correct. That's already been cleared. I was gonna say, you're talking about other sleeper builds, Steven. A really good ice boson with, or really good freezing arrow boson with ice, I think is also gonna be another sleeper build. Reason being, Jesus, look at that Foden go. Reason being is with the cold Sunder Charm, every single monster you hit will be frozen. So if you have a high enough attack rate, every single monster you shoot at won't be able to move. You're going to do more damage against cold sundered monsters, and it was already a strong build to begin with. You're going to have the best crowd control of any character, because every single monster is going to be frozen, and you're going to have elevated damage against cold sundered monsters. So I think it's going to be... I think Fireclaw and Freezing Arrow are going to be the two sleeper builds, in my opinion. Like, obviously Javzon's going to be good. And I think Fire Druid has the potential to be pretty powerful as well. Best possible gear. Your Armageddon will be hitting for quite a bit of damage. Currently playing on ladder. Yes, Steven. DB Terror 11 for whoever wants to join and join in on the fun. Yeah, Pavlo, I just want to let you guys know that I have advocated behind the scenes to have Sunder Charms drop in single player. I have mentioned that it's been frequently requested by the single player community. You guys know me, I love single player. I understand that Terror Zones can't just be thrown into single player. It's not a copy-paste. But I was kind of hoping that they could have just added Sunder Charms to the drop table for a single player, but... Not saying it won't happen in the future, but for the time being, it won't be a thing. Which is unfortunate. I just want to say that I did advocate for you guys. I did mention it, so... I usually try and advocate for everybody, even like the insufferable PvP morons, but... It just is what it is. But it could come in the future. I'm serious. Like, I've had people that are like, you don't give a shit about PvP. You don't care about the FHR changes that they made. The FHR changes ruins PvP, and I'm like, I don't care about the FHR charm. It's not like the FHR change. It didn't make anything better for me in PvP. And if it ruins PvP, then go back. It doesn't affect me, but like, I just get accused that I'm like some guy that just doesn't care about PvP, which is just furthest thing from the truth. But whatever, people clip things out of context anyways all the time. So I just like actually stopped caring. So I just do my own thing now. Try not to let it bother me. What's up, Nick, how you doing? By the way, guys, is it possible to request some likes on the stream, please? It's the single best way to help out my channel. Help spread my stream through the YouTube algorithm. And I'm not like fully 100% committed to YouTube, but I'm heavily considering the switch. Considering I get a better revenue split, better discoverability, it works better for my content creation, so if you guys are relatively new to my channel or used to watching me on Twitch, I'm heavily debating making a switch completely. I just got 50. Guys, likes are free. Memberships cost money. Likes are free. You only watch on YouTube? I appreciate everybody that's taken time out of their day to stop by my stream. Even if it's just pop in to say hi, I appreciate it. What's up, the Millen? You guys need to switch all your YouTube's names back to your Twitch names, man. That's on you guys, not me. I can't keep track of hundreds of people's names. 2 versions. Been sub for ages, never watched on YouTube. Twitch feels scummy, especially now. Yeah, it's kind of... I see both sides of it. Like, it is expensive to run a Twitch streaming service. Like, I'm sorry, it is. It is expensive. Especially considering there's a lot of creators, and I don't mean offense by this, it's just true. There is a lot of creators that they will never make enough in subs or Amazon to even break even to run the servers for them to stream on. That's literally just true. But at the same time, I know that sounds mean, but it's true. If you make $2,000 or $3,000 a year and you stream, it costs infrastructure costs to keep the servers up, right? So Twitch would be operating at a loss to whatever. But at the same time, there is thousands of creators that together have built Twitch up as a platform. So even if some don't break even, they're still part of the mixing pot of everyone who has built Twitch up to turn it into what it is, the streaming juggernaut that it currently is. So I feel like everybody should get a 70-30 split, but I don't know behind the scenes what that would do like financially, but that's kind of like my take on it. I think everybody deserves it, even if you don't even if like you cause a net loss for Twitch as a whole. Everybody together is what makes the community, and so I don't know, it's just kind of my take on it. But I get a 70-30 split on YouTube. Works better for my schedule, so yeah. If anyone does want to help out, throwing a like on the stream, single best way to support my stream. They removed debugging a while ago, which is kind of fortunate or unfortunate for itemization, depending on which way you look at it. The Bear Lion coming in with a Burroon membership. Thank you so much, man. Wow, thank you, dude. Wow. Burroon hype. Thank you, my dude. Thank you so much. Love this stuff, bro. Dude, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So removing e-bugging, it had the one unintended consequence of... So if you dropped a plain Eth item, you no longer had that like excitement of socketing it and trying to get the right number of sockets to boost your damage. That, they completely killed that. 100%. Like, that's completely killed. But the other... like thing is, it also makes a superior Eth armor worth something now. So if you drop a superior 4 open socket armor, before that was garbage. Now it's worth the most, actually. So why would Phil or them be mad or sad that I switched to YouTube? Why? Lost Valley and Valley of Snakes. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's go to the new Terror Zone. Honestly, it's the revenue split, discoverability, what I hate about Twitch and YouTube, or sorry, I hate about Twitch, and also
How may I help?
embedded view bots pisses me off so much. I hate embedded view bots. It's so shit. Can someone open up a TP for me, please? So I can get the waypoint. There's a button you can click on. I don't know if you guys know this. There's a button you can click on that shows the active participants of a stream, and I have seen, yeah, Twitch has better UI for the Twitch chat, or absolutely, but I've seen viewers that have like 1,000. Twitch says they have 1,000 viewers, and you click on the active participant chat, they don't even have 100 people watching them, like 100 real people, but it's 1,000 plus embedded view bots, and it's just, I just don't like it. It's kind of a bummer to those that actually legitimately are trying to make it. So it's not bots, it's embedded views. They're two different things, but yeah, it's just lame as fuck. It's not Twitch bots, it's embedded views. So you go to a website and then they'll have your stream playing on the website, and then it counts the view on the web page as a view on Twitch. And it just sucks for someone who like is legitimately trying to, because Twitch ranks you based on how many people are watching you. So if you have people above you, it doesn't make any difference. I disagree, Quentin. The only reason I think it is because Twitch ranks you based on the number of people that are watching you. So if it shows you have 2,000 people watching you, but you don't, and you have 200 people actually watching you, but you have 10 people above you because it rates from highest to lowest, you might not have a person click on your stream. So it's very hard to get discovered. It's like you're drowning and you're always trying to surface for air, but you're just getting drowned out by, yeah. So I don't like it. Maybe some people don't care, but I personally don't like it. But and again, it's obvious if you click on the active viewer chat button on Twitch, like, you can actually count it up and see, like, whatever. I'm done ranting. I should quit being a bitch baby, and I should just enjoy all of the YouTube support you guys are giving me. Adam, I'm doing good, man. How are you? Well, the problem is you have to have people tune into that website. So if you have an amazing website that has a, like, do you know who Fextra Life is? He's a really big streamer. He has an amazing wiki that covers like his wiki covers guides for every single game on the planet. So you search for any guide related content, you click on his website. It's a fantastic website. It has his stream there, so then that counts as a view, right? I don't have a fantastic website for people to visit. Maybe, oh guys, I just thought of the craziest growth strategy ever. What if I struck a deal with Pornhub? Embedded my Twitch on Pornhub. Sorry, embedded my stream on Pornhub. Could you imagine that? I would go from like, okay, DB Terrazone 12. I would go from like 300 to 500 viewers to like 800,000 overnight. Be the most popular streamer on Twitch ever. Don't do Pornhub? Yeah, fucking 1 million. Do you guys remember, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, do you remember when YouTube actually went down? YouTube went down for like 4 hours, and they could actually see that the traffic went from, YouTube went down, and then it was like, so Pornhub was here and YouTube was like here. When YouTube actually like dropped for like 4 hours, it was like YouTube was here and then Pornhub went up to, yeah, I know I'm stupid. I know. My wife tells me every day. I don't need to be reminded. But Would it come with a magnifying glass? What do you mean? I don't know, guys. I feel bad. When Terror Zones were first introduced, I was kind of like, oh, this is not really that cool, but now that they added like the cool Ember effect, we're gonna farm together as groups. Like I'm actually kind of excited. Plus, Fire Druid and Thunder Charms. It's gonna be pretty sick. Adam, you will not be able to find anything, my friend. Thunder Charms do not actually officially start dropping until the ladder. The patch notes and everything are going to be exactly the same as ladder. Only thing is that you're not going to get the Thunder Charms until actually October 6th. Oh, by the way, guys, do you guys want to talk Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green for a second? I modified one of... Kyle, come on. No, Kyle, we're talking Pokemon for 5 minutes. I modified one of my game ROMs so that I removed Trade Evolution. So I can now get a Gengar, I can get an Alakazam, all that shit, right? So I want to do another playthrough, but I want to do a bunch of Trade Evolution Pokemon. So I wanted to do Gengar and Machamp, for sure. And then possibly... I was thinking Kingdra, and then maybe Steelix. What do you guys think? I want to do trade. Oh, Golem! Bilky, why did you not remind me of Golem? I have never had that Pokemon ever in the existence of playing because of Trade Evolutions. Trade Evolutions is so stupid. Now I can make a Golem. And Scizor. The only problem is Golem is like Omega slow. Like Omega slow. He is slow as fuck. Does he have more attack than Rhydon, Bilky? Where's the Lost City? It's probably already been farmed already. It's up here, guys. I don't know if you guys have farmed it already. Oh, so then I might as well just run Rhydon then. Right? Definitely want Gengar, though. I don't like Alakazam, though. Alakazam's just too weak. If he doesn't get defense, whatever that defense banner is, if he doesn't get that up, he just gets totally roasted by anything physical. Yeah, I only play up to Gen 3. I only play Fire Red and Leaf Green, guys. Past that, I don't know anything. I only play that generation. Yeah, I think I want to make him a champ, actually. I just prefer Mewtwo, though. Okay. DB Terror 13, boys. The Bear Lion, sorry for spamming this. You can ask away any question anytime, my dude. I need to see if I should give up hope. Do you actually think they will make a loot filter / currency tab? I think there's a possibility next ladder, but don't hold your breath. Even if they don't make a loot filter, that's fine, but, like... Sorry, even if they don't make a currency tab, if we just had, like, stackable gems, it would be really cool. Has there been any update to that riddle? Have any of the content creators gotten any further? Wow, is that not a weird map? Guys, look at that. I can almost teleport back into Luke Galane. Have you guys ever seen that before? Lost City be that close to Luke Galane? I don't think I've seen that. I have never seen that. sure it's happened before. I've just never seen that. That's interesting. You've seen it, Lozenge? Okay, cool. It must not happen very frequently, because like I've never seen that before, but as far as I know, it's random. It's every hour, but it's random. I don't know anything past that. I don't think there's a way to... I think Terra Zones, like, again, I know some people hate me for saying this. Some people hate the Sunder Charms, which is fine. I respect the opinion if you hate Sunder Charms. I disagree with it, but I respect it. But if they use Terra Zones as a base to potentially add, like, a... Like, wouldn't it be cool if they made some item drop that if you found it, and you like sell it to the merchant, maybe it turns a Terra Zone for an hour, like the whole Terra Zone is all like minions of destruction from wave 5. Like there's cool stuff they can do with like the base premise of Terra Zones, but I think that if they... a little bit of quality of life from like a loot filter, a little bit of rework of items, and just with the Sunder Charms and everything, like I think D2 is actually in a way better place than what it was when it launched, in my opinion. I know some people just hate Sunder Charms entirely, but which is fine. Again, respect the opinion. Don't agree with it, but I respect it. Again, let's be honest. If Sunder Charms didn't exist, Terra Zones would be... either everyone would be hammered in to maximize the effect, or everyone would either be hammered in or a Lightning Sorceress or a Javazon. Nothing would have changed. And you can make the argument that nothing changes with Sunder Charms, but I feel like with like Fire Traps and Hydra Sorceresses, Fire Sorceresses, Fire Druids, like I feel like there's a little bit more of a potential to run some new stuff. Might be some hidden wacky stuff with Summon Necros. Yeah, Poison Necro. People just would have picked characters that could pretty much farm almost all the Terra Zones, and that just would have been it. But now we could be a Fire Sorceress, and eventually we can farm everywhere. That's a big eventually, though. Because I feel like a lot of people just make the jump and say, oh, it's stupid. A Fire Druid can farm everywhere. A Fire Druid can farm everywhere once it achieves Infinity, Phoenix, and really powerful gear. You don't think it changes much, Quentin? Good characters are still going to be good, absolutely. I agree with that. But do you not think that a lot of characters, like Fire in particular, have taken big steps forward? Like, I'm wondering if, like, a Hand of Justice, Flickering Flame, Boazon with Fire Facets. I'm wondering if I'm wondering with Infinity Mercenary. I'm wondering if that'll be a really underrated build. Like I would say, S tier builds got a little bit stronger. That's true. I mentioned that in my video. I mentioned a way to counteract it, but I feel like Fire took a big step forward, and I feel like Melee kind of got the bad end. Kind of took like the bad end, or whatever. Melee. The gap between caster and melee is increased. Yeah, it is true. Could that be tweaked in the future? I'm sure it could be. I haven't tested a Poison Necro enough. Like, I don't know, maybe a Poison Necro's really good. I don't know. There's less poison immunes in a lot of the Terra Zones compared to other elemental immunities. And you always had, like... a lot of people even argue for a Poison Necro that you don't even have to use lower res. Depending on the difficulty and how good your gear is, you can actually just use amp damage. As long as there's not a poison immune monster, quick amp, cast your Poison Nova, get that first kill, have an Infinity Mercenary, and just start popping everything in Corpse Explosion. Because that's actually, like, really GG Poison Necro players. If you're really good, it'll be teleport, lower res, a single Poison Nova, wait till you get that first kill, then you instantly flip to amp damage and then Corpse Explode. I've tested setups where, again, I'm a lazy farmer. I will just entirely use amp damage. I don't even use, like, again, I'm a lazy farmer, but you can just use amp if you want to. So I don't know how much of a difference it's actually going to make for Poison Necro. Just because it does solve the poison immunity problem, but once you get the first kill anyways, like, I don't know, it's up in the air. Up in the air.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, oh, it's a horrible boss farmer. A Poison Necro is not a boss farmer. Poison Necro is like a pit slamming character. You might be able to do... There might be more areas, like, I don't know, maybe a really good Poison Necro can pop, like, Kalrasha Tombs and stuff like that. Like, Summon Necro was going to be the character I was going to play before they introduced Sun of Charms. Just because Infinity Mercenary, amp damage, Corpse Explosion, you could just clear everything. So, Jim Bob, what the frick? Jim Bob coming in with a Burr Rune membership. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate that. Guys, can we get some Burr hype in chat? Spam some Pepes. Thank you, Jim Bob. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I believe it. I don't know why they didn't just have Ancient Tunnels as well. No more Twitch? I'm undecided. YouTube has better discoverability. Works a little bit better for my streaming schedule because I can't really stream as much as what I used to. I get a better revenue split. I can stream at a higher bit rate and higher resolution, which is pretty cool. But also, it's still not quite there yet. Like, literally, we just had YouTube Live, like, crashed everywhere. Like, just recently. So, all the big guys from, like, me, Sweet... I'm not a big guy, but just saying, like, me, Sweet Phil, all the way up to, like, Dr. Disrespect, all crashed. So, okay, guys, new Terror Zone DB15. What's up, Nickel? How does D2 run on Switch? I don't know. I have not played it on Switch, but... Oh, there you go. Jim Bob says on Switch, it is amazing. It's a beer rune. Are you going to make a video on different builds that can really benefit from Thunder Charms, like how well Fire Druid Trapsim will be? Yeah, I would like to make that content. I just... It's all, like, I want to make, like, a top elite farming build video, top budget Terror Zone farming build video. Like, there's a lot of content that I want to make. It's just when I have time. No password casual, PC casual gaming. Just DB Terror 15. Anybody can join. Just doing some casual, chill Terror Zone stuff. No, it is any Necro build, whether it's Summon, Bone, or Poison, at least for PVM, is just get the first monster kill and then Corpse Explode. That's really what the kind of build is centered around. Now, you get a ton of plus skills and a ton of negative poison res from D-Web, so on higher difficulty settings, you can get that first kill from Poison a hell of a lot quicker. So it's definitely like a really good DPS option, but you could definitely rock a teleporting like Hodo Poison Necro. No problem. No problem. Just getting that first kill will be a little bit slower. Millen! Thank you for changing your name, brother. How did you do it? Because we need to tell Mango how to do it. You could, Josh. It's just going to be a little bit slow. Like... Oh. Fortunately, I'm playing Amazon. It'd be easy to show you. So just put 20 into Freezing Arrow, skip Ice Arrow, and put 20 into Cold Arrow. Because Cold Arrow is a damage synergy. Ice Arrow is a freezing synergy. I wouldn't worry about this for now, because 2 seconds is 2 seconds with a passive attack rating. That's fine. And then put like 1 point into your dodge, avoid, and evade, and then critical strike, penetrate, and pierce. And then from there, there's different options. Like if you don't have Razor Tail yet, you can put more into pierce. You can put more into these evade skills. If you want a good combination of physical and elemental, you can put extra into critical strike. You can also put points like 20 here, and you can put 20 into Exploding Arrow and 20 into Fire Arrow. So you can go back and forth between Freezing Arrow and Fire Arrow for immunities before you get your Sunder Charms. But if you have a Sunder Charm and Infinity Mercenary and you're going full-on Cold Boa, I would go 20, 40, 60. That's what I would put. And then put your 1-point wonders here, 1-point wonders here, and then from there you can do whatever you want. You could do... If you have your Pierce, you can do extra into Penetrate. You could do Valkyrie. Like, there's a lot of different setups. But now that Sunder Charms will allow you to freeze everything, getting 5% freeze length per Freezing Arrow, you'll have like a 10-second freeze duration before you apply the negative hell penalty. So you'll just be able to freeze absolutely everything. It'll be really... It's gonna be a sleeper build, in my opinion. What's a TO set? Have I tested Fireball with a TO set? I'm gonna make a new game, guys. DB Terror 16. James! D2 Pilot. There we go. Thank you, man. Well, but I always knew you. It's just tough to memorize, like... The OG guys, I always remember, but it's tough to, like, memorize everybody. But, there's my Discord, guys. If you guys want to join, I'm planning on, for ladder, I want to do a lot of coordinated, like, 3-man terror farming sessions, which a lot of it I want to do via voice chat. Now, there's a little bit of a vetting process here. I'm just not going to let random people onto my stream with voice chat, but once I know you enough, I want to do, like, coordinated voice chat groups. So that'll be all through Discord. I'm gonna have my moderators get some channels set up, so if you guys are interested and want to partake, there's my Discord invitation link. Can you join? Sure. Just join some username? Or same username, Bearlion? Right on. Right on. But yeah, I'm thinking you have to do like voice chat stuff, just because when we were doing those 8-man Talrasha Tombs video, Talrasha farming sessions, people were off clearing, like people already had Duriel cleared in different tombs, and we all have fully decked out characters, so it doesn't really matter. But we need to like actually coordinate. Especially with lower gear. So it'll all be done via Discord. Ladder is in... But today's the 23rd, so... It's coming up. It's October the 6th. Not gonna be long. The blog post actually covered the official dates. So... Guys, I'll be pushing... Can Sight Up join? I'll be pushing like 10 hours a week, so don't worry about casual. You don't have to jump in with DG gear. I am officially a casual D2 streamer now. Too busy IRL to be a hardcore streamer. No, it's October 6th, I'm positive. Unless they did some last minute change. That date's been thrown around a bunch now. Definitely October 6th. Yeah, I am literally a casual. I do have another job. YouTube is not my full-time job. Maybe someday, but not at the moment. It's based on the creator of the game. So, because I'm level 89, all of these white guys are +2 levels, champions are +4 levels, and bosses are +5 levels. So, if I was like a really low level and held difficulty and I had beaten Vale, there is the potential that some of these monsters couldn't drop like level 85 areas, but at the level that I'm at now, everything is dropping like level 85 area. It's all just based on the creator of the game and the level of the actual character. Ooh, that was a weird visual. I guess this is already cleared. You guys are killing it. DB Terror 16 or 17, excuse me. What's up, Lord? That guy, you guys want to check out Lord Sangvei's videos? He has done some of the coolest Uber Tristram content I've ever seen. He put together an he put together an 8-man Uber Tristram team setup that killed Ubers without actually performing a single attack. Seriously. Using crazy items like static procs from Cow King set and everything. He had an 8-man group that took down Ubers without using a single attack. Like, just some insane shit. Really cool videos if you guys want to check that out. Like, I've never seen anybody else pull that off. Now, it's ridiculous gear. Like, if I remember correctly, it was like multiple people were using prides to proc Firewall. There was like Cow King sets with like runes in the helmet and stuff like that. Like, it was not. You can't just kill Ubers with no attacks for cheap gear. Like, you need good gear to do it. But he did it, which was pretty crazy. I was down to 3 items, Sir Fox. Well, actually, down to 2 items. Astrians and Tyrell's Might. Everything else I found. Astrians is like my insane item. I've even found multiple Zod runes, Cham runes. I found repeat Griffins. Only got a single Fathom. That's a really, really rare item. What do I do for work? I raise ducks on a duck farm. A duck farmer. How do you get Nether Zone terrorized? It changes every hour. It's randomly every hour it picks a new designation. Serious? What, the duck? What's wrong with... You guys don't like duck? It's a delicacy. I left that job. I didn't like it, Josh. Didn't pay enough. Hey, ducks eat overnight, man. You gotta... They're living animals. Does anyone in chat know what a beaver tail is? Any Canadians in chat? You ever had a beaver tail before? Classic Canadian treat. It's far oasis. Did I skip? I might have been blind. Do you know Hank? Have you ever had the... Never make the mistake of going overboard. Just get the regular original beaver tail. I went way overboard and got the Reese's Pieces one with all like the what do you call it? I'm too lazy. I'm gonna restart the game. I don't know where the other one is. Nutella with Reese's Pieces and stuff. It's just way too much. You just gotta go simple with the cinnamon sugar. Like just go with the regular. DB, what are we, 18 guys? You guys want to join? Yeah, it just randomly selects a new area every hour. Tells you in the chat window. You can see it, an icon here via the waypoint menu, and then also you'll notice like the embers and the different colors, which is pretty cool. It's literally just deep fried dough with like cinnamon sugar, and then you can put different toppings on it. It's just search Canadian beaver tail or whatever. Really good. Yeah, I'm rethinking what my fire druid is going to be built around, guys. I'm kind of thinking that I want at least a 99 FCR druid. I'm thinking like a suicide branch in Phoenix. I'm actually kind of ruling out either that or Mansong's Lesson. I'm kind of ruling out the idea of like a Fire Facet Phoenix sword setup, just because to try and get around as a group, like it's just so slow, like with these lower breakpoints. I'm kind of thinking a faster teleport breakpoint might be better. Hey, Leo, how are you? What's up, Tadosta? How you doing, man? Well, just because Suicide Branch is $1 skills, res, plus life. I could put a Fire Facet in it for damage, and I get 50 FCR. So, like, Racket's Mesh, Mage Fist is 40. Suicide Branch puts you up to 90, then I just need 9 FCR and a Caster Amulet. Problem is, as soon as you dip down to, like, Fire Faceted Swords, it is a huge damage bump, but you're basically stuck at the 63 FCR teleport, which is close to whatever this shitty teleport speed is. Did you guys already clear? That's probably already cleared, right? Yeah, okay. It's definitely all cleared. Okay, new one. But it is a big sacrifice in damage, though, right? Six Fire Faceted Sword is quite a bit of damage.
Welcome to my shop.
Good day.
After this Terror Zone run, guys, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. I gotta take a leak, and I want to grab some water because I'm getting thirsty. We'll be gone for like a minute. I'm gonna do an experimentation here. A pizza break. I'm gonna take an experiment. I'm gonna do an experiment here. Don't flip your shit. I'm gonna try running. I was gonna run a set of ads only while I'm taking a pee break. Is that cool? You guys okay? Suffer through 20-second ad break?
Happy Friday, DB.
Helps me out while I'm going to take a pee.
Can't carry anymore.
I'll never ever run an ad break during gaming. Like that's what they do on Twitch, and which is a bummer, but how dare you? But seriously, that's one of the biggest things that
Happy
sucks
Friday,
about Twitch.
DB.
Is that they thank you so much for the super. Sorry, chat just went flying by that I completely missed the super. Was it Didosta? $2? Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, Twitch has some creators running up to like 4 minutes of ads an hour. Like, that's crazy. I was thinking about just running them when I go to take like a pizza break. Just an experiment. You can use ad blockers. I always advocate very nicely that you whitelist my channel, just because ads is how
I can't carry anymore.
I make it on Twitch and YouTube. But yes, you can run an ad blocker. What's up, G-Stacks? How you doing, man? How is G-Stacks doing today? Okay, I'm gonna make a new game, DB Terror 20. I'm gonna go for a pizza break. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. First time ever. Gonna try hitting this button. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Be back. So did anything happen when I hit the add button, or did I blow up my stream? I hit the add button. I don't know what happened. I hit it. Nothing happened? That's hilarious. Okay, we'll make a new stream, DB Terror 21. It gave some people an ad? I don't know. Never gonna run it never gonna run it when I'm actually streaming. I just figured if I'm gonna go take a pizza break, why not run it? I doubt it. It's randomized. I'm sure you could maybe go like cows, something else, and maybe back to cows if you were lucky. There's no way I think it would go cow, cow, cow. I don't see it. Well, you know that you need to drop them off level 75 monsters. That's been confirmed via data mining. But we don't know. We really don't know the rarity yet. So they could, for all we know, they could be like, I don't know. According to if it's Geed's Grand Charm rarity, and if it's going to count as a unique Grand Charm, so you have a 1 in 7 chance of dropping it. Like it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's not going to be super prevalent, but I don't know if it's going to be. It's not going to be insanely ridiculously rare, but it's not going to be super popular at the same time. Like it should be. Should be measured and balanced, but we'll see. That's the biggest thing too, is champions and bosses only from Terror Zones. So that in itself, like they're not going to drop from white monsters. So if you're farming like all monster content, you're wasting your time. You're teleporting around, only hitting champions and boss packs. Have a better chance.
I need mana.
What's up, Laka? How you doing? Like this is, I don't think this is a very good Terror Zone. This is maybe B tier at best. But like Talrash's Tombs was insane. Like somebody's probably already split up and did the Tomb, so I'm just gonna reset it. So DB Terror 22. If anyone wants to join. You think they're gonna be as rare as a SOJ? Really? We have a Necro? Is that a Summon Necro with Mist? I think so. It looks like a Summon Necro with Mist. Interesting. I can't do much to the lightning mutants though. We don't... Doesn't look like it. Looks like it was just a hidden message from the developers, which they're still trying to crack. Like, I don't know if it's a waste of time or they're actually gonna like uncover something, or if it's just like a hidden coded message. But I don't think it's gonna happen. What's up, Michael? Because the original, yeah, like that's what I think it is Mango. But the original message was so many gems. What do these orange numbers mean? So everyone was instantly like, "Oh my god, what if it's like stacking like 30 gems or something, and there's like an orange number?" Like people jumped to currency stacking, but then they took the time and dived into it more and figuring out with the chat gem, like it's a coded message. I don't know if it's actually going to mean anything, but Sunders don't drop yet. They're only going to start dropping October 6th. Everything's out in terms of like the base, like Terror Zones and how they function. That's all like going to be the same way it is at the launch of Ladder 2. We just don't have juicy Sunder Charms yet. I like how this Summon Necro is using Mist. That's very cool. Is Mist actually confirmed to be better? I just assumed it would have been like Beast is the way to go. Mist would be, the concentration aura would be more damage, but then you lose out on the attack speed. Either way, even if it's not the best. Cool idea and utilization, I approve. I always thought one of the coolest use cases is like if you made Mist at a demon crossbow or a shapeshifting druid. It's a cool idea. It depends on what you define as OP. If a cold sorceress drops a cold Thunder Charm, yes, she will take a massive step forward. Absolutely. When you compare the best possible gear of a cold sorceress to the best possible gear of like fire or lightning is going to be miles ahead. So it just depends on what you define as OP. With the way Cold Mastery works, a Cold Thunder Charm is not giving you more damage. A Cold Thunder Charm is just enabling, it's just giving you the ability to farm more monsters. Instead of target farming ancient tunnels over and over again, you can now clear monsters in the Icy Cellar. That's all that it enables you to do. It's if you, whether or not you determine that or classify that as power creep or making her GG, then that's up to you. But it doesn't actually give her more damage. It's just she can target farm more areas. When you actually go like DPS, it's lightning and fire that are taking the biggest jumps forward. What's up, Blackwell? I don't know why they didn't add ancient tunnels. Would have been a good option, right? But, yeah. Okay. DB Terror 23, boys. Did you guys see what... Oh. Sorry, DB Terror 20. Did you guys see what Pez Radar just tweeted out? Fucking guy. That guy's awesome. He had tweeted out it's the official 1-year anniversary of Diablo 2 Resurrected, and he tweeted out the clip of me saying, "Look at that fire," when it was the Luke Ghislaine Ocean. Now, I want to defend myself. I came off of 2 12-hour night shifts, had an hour of sleep, and then fired up stream to play PTR. No one the clip doesn't tell you that I was super excited to test PTR, and I woke up on no sleep. Not fair. Tristram was a Terror Zone yesterday. Did anybody get anything GG from the Terror Zone? What do I work with? What is my normal work, Martin? I work at a duck hatchery. So just imagine a chicken farm, but with ducks. What if Uber Tristram is a Terror Zone? I don't think Uber Tristram becomes terrorized. Tristram can become terrorized. I'm a duck brooder. Oh man, this Summon Necro is tripping me out with his revives. I keep thinking they're marauders to attack. Remember when I did some community cow farming? And I even said to the Summon Necro, I was like, dude, I love that you're like part of this magic finding run, but I'm like, you can't revive cows. No more cow revives for you. Because I was just, I kept, like, I'm like slinging Lightning Fury at his revives. No more revives for you. Use everything but revives. 45 Life Trapper in a Terror Zone today, Dan? Holy shit. That is cool. That's really sick, man. Nope, cows can become terrorized. 100%. Which, if we're talking about, like, if we think the top 3 terrorized areas, I think it's Tal Rasha Tombs, cows. Then what do you guys think? Does chaos? Just be cheap sellouts and go chaos? Because, like, Claw Viper and, like, they're okay, but it's not... It's a lot of teleporting around and finding stuff. But, like... Tarasha's Tomb is just ridiculous. I know Tristram has a lot of champions and boss backs, which is nice. Probably it'd be nice for finding Terror Charms, but I don't think the density can... Oh, Flare Jungle. Sorry, Flare Jungle is another GG one. Stony or DB Terror 24. Later, Lord. Thank you for popping by stream, man. Yeah, I think that the Flare Jungle will be really GG. Think Flare... You think it's too small? When I was ripping through there as a summon necro, like, there was tons of kills from all the little flares and stuff. Oh, Tristram, yeah. Tristram has a lot of champions and boss backs, so it might be a good location to actually get the charms. But yeah, I just don't think it has the density. I think I rated it as A tier, I think. I think every other content creator was like, oh, Tristram's S tier, and I was like, I feel like it's A tier, but... Like, I don't think Lost City, like, this is B tier max. Oh, you know what? The one area that I feel like is actually, I think the Halls of Dead is actually, I think Halls of Dead is S tier. I know people might not agree with that, but you just skip the outside area, go straight to level 2 of the Halls of Dead. Tons of skeletons and monsters, rip through them, go down to level 3, rip through them, kill the boss back, whatever the witch is, the saber cat or whatever, and then just repeat. Rinse and repeat, over and over and over again. Go to waypoint 2, kill a bunch of shit, rinse and repeat. I feel like that's a very overlooked area, in my opinion. And I also think with fire, I think that some of the ice caves are, they're not S tier, but I think that they're pretty good. You really start to encounter a lot of nasty monsters when you go down into, like, the... forget what they're called. One's the Glacial Cavern, what's the other one? There's a lot of nasty monsters in there. But the actual monsters within, like, the Ancient's Way, like, those areas, they're relatively easy to kill monsters. They're just, like, those freezing terrors, and, like, for the most part, they're... And it's favorable to fire damage dealing characters. So I feel like it's, yeah, Icy Cellar and Glacial. Frozen River is the worst? Have you tried going through there with a fire character? Like a fire sorceress? I thought it was pretty good in my testing. Other than the odd time you might get the Frenzy Tar spawn. But if you don't get the Frenzy Tar spawn, they're relatively slow, easy kill monsters that have no fire res. I thought it was actually a good area for fire damage dealing. It's the Icy Cellar and the Glacial Cavern, or Drifter Cavern, I think, are horrible. Because they have some of the nastiest monster spawns. Souls, dolls, Frenzy Tars, like, just nasty, nasty shit. But This is not PTR. This is the actual ladder. It's patch 2.5. Everything, we're just doing Terror Zones. The only thing is we don't have Sunder Charms. But this is actual live. Patch 2.5 is live right now. Interesting, Dank. Interesting. Again, I don't think it's S tier, but I think it's a solid area. I don't know if there's favorable lightning immunities. Let me just quickly... If there's not favorable lightning immunities, I'll get crushed here, but... I remember for fire being pretty good. Yeah, that's what I thought. Not favorable lightning immunities. But there's quite a few monsters, and you can rip through these as a fire damage dealing character. I thought it was actually not too bad, but... you're guaranteed, I think, to hit Chaos Sanctuary a couple times a weekend, don't you think? There's what, 32 zones, one every hour, so you're getting 24 a day. Like, I think you'd at least hit it twice. Viper Magi. 30 all res Viper Magi. I haven't done a ton of Terror Zone play, so I've actually never had, or maybe once I had Terrorized Chaos Spawn. But this Corpse Explosion, Necro, before Sunder Charms were introduced, this was the exact build I wanted to play. So, guys gotta figure it out. Okay, DB Terror 26. That's gonna be a really powerful build. Summon Necro, in my opinion. No, Terror Zones will be on non-ladder, but Sunder Charms are only going to drop on ladder. Season 2, October the 6th. And we're going to get a new Terror Zone any second. Should. But yeah, I am going to go for level 99 as well, guys. It's going to take me quite a while, probably the latter portion of the league. Again, that's why I want to try to put together a coordinated group. Physical Sunder is probably the least useful, but I think that people are sleeping on it a little bit. I think for a throw barb or like a multi-shot Bozon, I feel like the Physical Sunder is actually pretty GG. Oh, really? Luke Ghislaine sewers? Oh, man. Okay. Hey, boys. We're off to the shitty sewers. Can I get a waypoint as well, guys?
Blessings to you.
It's leaning towards that way, Cayman? Yeah. I'm leaning towards doing YouTube. Better revenue split, works a little bit better with my streaming schedule. I reach more people. I got the like button, which if you guys slap a like on this stream, it helps spread it through the YouTube algorithm. It's the single best way to help my channel grow. So I would love any likes. That would be fantastic. Can I get a Kurost waypoint from anybody on the team? Or is everybody in the sewers already? Everybody's already there. God dang. You guys are fast. Wait, is it not? Oh. Yeah. Did I tell you guys that I was running on very low sleep? Like 3 hours of sleep? The other sewers. Yes. I just saw sewers and I was like, yeah.
I am overburdened.
New Pez radar meme incoming. Oh, that sewer. God damn it, game. Why you gotta make me look so stupid? Like, DB, you're doing that to yourself, man. Not the game. You're making yourself look stupid. See, this is not, like, this is, like, slow teleport as a Javazon getting around. This place sucks. This place really sucks. Just ignore the link, guys. Or I'm too lazy to. It is what it is. It's more, counts as more chats. More chat interaction. Okay, I'm gonna make a new game. This, fuck, sewers suck ass. Might just say fuck it and do chaos or something. Oh, it's Juice. Juice, stick with me. Poison Necro. We were talking, we wanted to see how good Poison Necros are. Stick with me, brother. Juice will show you guys how good a Poison Necro is. And this is Players 8. He's probably rocking really GG gear. I mean, I am helping him, but... I'm thinking I might skip. Like, what do you guys think? I might skip unfavorable terror zones. Like, I might just, like... I was farming in a 3-man group, but if they're like, oh, sewer spawns, I'd maybe be like, okay, guys, let's just go crush chaos. Like, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know if this is, like... But I guess, yeah, or cows, Bilbo. But I guess maybe, or sea bales, yeah. Yeah, Joseph, you could. How are you, Joseph? But I wonder if a lot of people will just maybe... Do you think people will skip? Or do you think people will just suck it up because they want, early on, more chances to drop Thunder Charms? How is YouTube discoverability so far? It's hard to say. I've only been streaming on... Like, I haven't been streaming on YouTube for that long. I think it's better. There's a better revenue split. I think it's better discoverability. I noticed there's a couple things, like Twitch has better chat, but Twitch also has an audience that... It's hard to explain, but it's tough to condition people to watch streams on YouTube, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, usually YouTube is like, okay, click on a video, you like it, you don't like it, you click on another video. Where Twitch, I feel like, is, you have more of the culture of like hanging out during a full stream. Like, for example, one thing I noticed is if I take a break on Twitch, like a 5-minute break, I come back, everybody's there. If I take a 5-minute break on YouTube, I don't know, 100 people might leave, which is fine. I just think there's like a difference in like a baked-in culture of like watching longer form content. Does that make sense? Versus like YouTube is just click on something, you like it, you don't like it, you go to the next one kind of thing, right? You know, there's like that attention span is not necessarily the same, if that makes sense. Okay, DB Terror 30, or sorry, 28. You'll never leave me, Yev? Thank you, ma'am. Exactly, it's only going to get better. They had a better revenue split, it works better into my content schedule. I talked about this earlier, I can't stand embedded views on Twitch now. It's so baked in and it's so... Embedded views are bullshit. They're just trash. You're almost like forced to use them because or you want to try to get them, because if you don't, you're not going to get discovered as much as someone who is using them, and just, I don't know. Embedded views is when like a website has your stream on the website. So what happens is if they go to that website page to see whatever's going on, that website visit will count as a live view, but it's not really a view. It's just, if you click on, there's like a button you can click to see active participants in a YouTube in a Twitch chat. I've seen people that have like 1,000 viewers. You click on the button and they only have like 100 real people in chat. So you have like 900 to like 1,000 embedded views. So then that streamer shows up first over someone who might have 200 or 300. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's, this is what it is. It's also kind of obvious too. If someone has hundreds or thousands of viewers and then the stream chat isn't moving. But, whatever. That, and then Twitch taking away the 70-30 split. Twitch ramming ads down people's throats. Twitch being so inconsistent with the banning policy. Like a streamer had sex live on Twitch and she got a 7-day ban. Like, just keeps adding up. It's like over and over and over again. Just the stupidest shit. It's 50-50 split on Twitch. $70-30 split on YouTube. Overall, I still think Twitch is better for streaming, but I think wouldn't surprise me in a year from now if YouTube's potentially on top.
How may I help you?
Twitch does have Prime subs, though. That's true. But I also have, like, I've had multiple people come in with Burr or Jarun subscriptions. And then I get a 70-30 split. So that's, like, helping me out so much more than, like, a couple free Primes. Now, any free Prime or whatever is amazing. Any support is amazing. But if you look at it as a whole, almost the difference in splits almost makes up for the free Prime. So it's... But you're absolutely right. There's definitely benefits to Twitch, and I'm not fully committed to leaving them yet, but... Oh yeah, chat's way better on Twitch. That's the biggest thing, but I feel like if YouTube just implemented, like, if YouTube just copy and pasted Twitch's chat, then I think it's over for Twitch, but... Better emotes, better chat, better TV, like, if we can just get that stuff on YouTube, then, like... October the 6th. I believe Plague is a ladder-only rune word. It does cryotone? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I guess maybe I need to get it set up then. Okay, I'll look into getting that set up. operational costs. To run the servers, like Twitch needs to... Like, Twitch operates at a net loss, which is crazy. Like, for those that don't know, they operate at a net loss because their only source of revenue is subs and ads from when people watch live content, right? But YouTube has revenue from, like, if you guys are hanging out on live stream, but they also have revenue from the other millions of video hits that they get every day. So that's why, like, YouTube can offer a better split and all that good stuff. James! How much you charge per hour of modding? If I had to back pay you for all the other hours that you watched and modded, I'd probably be broke. Sundered Charms can't drop until October 6th, the launch of Season 2. DB Terror 30, boys. But Season 1 isn't over. We have the Terror Zones and all that stuff is up and running like it should be. But the actual charms themselves, they don't start to launch until Season 2. You also have to kill Hellbale too. Just point that out. Or, well, you have to kill Bale for each respective difficulty, so normal, nightmare, and Hellbale. Immunities were created because the sorceress is too OP. I mean, I didn't... When I first started picking up Diablo 2 and playing as a kid, immunities already existed in the game. I never played the game before when it had... Like, I never played... Back when you couldn't buy mana pots and shit like that, I never actually played the game. So I don't know specifically if you can say that that's why the devs implemented immunities. I know the biggest thing is when they introduced synergies, they massively upped like the life of monsters just because you were getting so much more of a damage output. But then that's what really, because you used to be able to go like Frozen Orb and then you could pick like a different spec and you'd have enough skill points to do enough damage. But once synergies were introduced, like fully maxing out Blizzard's an 80-point skill build. So you don't have enough points to, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like the upgrade in monster life compared to the extra points you need to invest to fully synergize a tree. Like that's what created the problem of like, you know, fire builds suck or whatever. It's the reason why Frozen Orb used to be really good, and then Frozen Orb just can't compete with Blizzard just because the damage isn't there. You know what's interesting is the final patch that brought in Ubers and stuff like that, the actual original dev team wasn't even involved in that. It was like they were gone by the time of the final Arizona, or sorry, Tristram Uber patch. And my immunities has never been an issue with me. I feel like the process of building up your character and stuff like that has always been fine. The issue that I have is why does a 20 high rune lightning sorceress, why can it almost run through everything, and why is a 20 high rune fire sorceress stuck like... That's the issue that I have. It's not... And I feel like that could just be tweaked with like minor adjustments to monster resistance values, but they went the route of Sundered Charms, which is fine. How old and when would that have been, Matthew? DB Terror 31, guys. Can we do some duck farming streams? I'll get Duck Hunter set up, guys. We'll play Duck Hunter on stream. You guys down for that?
It is an honor to serve you.
I am going to be playing some variety content soon, though, because some of my favorite games are going to be, or like just about to drop, or favorite genre of series. I really like Resident Evil 8, I love. And they're coming out with a third-person DLC for Resident Evil 8, so I do kind of want to beat RE8 again. Callisto Protocol is coming out. The guy that made Dead Space, is making Callisto Protocol. Dead Space is one of my favorite games, so I'm super excited to play that game. And then there's the RE4 remake and the actual Dead Space remake. There's a whole bunch of exciting freaking games that are coming up, which I'm gonna sift those in. I know they're variety. Some people may not hang out. It's not D2, which is fine. But I'm really excited to play those games.
I can't carry anymore.
You know what's... I only started really... Like, I played RE2 and RE3 growing up, and I enjoyed those games on the PlayStation. But I haven't played... I kind of got back into Resident Evil when RE2 remaster, RE7, RE8, and RE3 remaster. That's kind of like what got me back into Resident Evil. So I'm really excited for the RE4 remake. Never played the original. The original's controls are super tanky. Like, not being able to move when you pull out your gun to shoot is a little bit rough. Really? RE4 is the one that you... Interesting. So you never gave, like, the RE2 remaster or RE3 remaster a shot? Those games are fantastic, in my opinion. RE7 is a super scary first-person shooter. RE8 is a good mix of, like, horror and action. First person. Really excited to see it in third. This was my ladder character from the official Season 1 ladder, James. Or do I have a setting checked wrong on creating games? Like, you trying to join and you can't? Whatever zone becomes terrorized gets this purple hue. And these, like, embers. I don't know if you can see it, or I don't know if the... Can you guys see the floating embers on stream? Or is, like, the compression doesn't let you see it? Yeah, friend list joining, item spacing, terrorized, maximum players count 8. DB terror 32. You guys can see it? Okay, yeah, so... It shows right here in the chat box, corrupted tremors strike Luke Ghislaine sewers. So you can determine that an area is terrorized via that. If you click on the waypoint menu, you'll see here Luke Ghislaine. Oh, that's kind of a bug, isn't it? Oh, I guess it... Because, like, it's underneath, I guess that's why it was highlighted, but you'll get this unique icon here. It'll say if an area is terrorized. And then, yeah, you get, like, the purple floating embers, which is really cool. Believe it or not, my first initial reaction to Terrorzone videos, I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm like, but please, like... I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was, like, some fog or something for Terrorzone that made it unique?
I can't
And they
carry
added the ember thing, which is, I think it's a cool touch, in my opinion.
I can't carry anymore.
I like that they added it. Yeah, I mean, it is a... I guess it's a bug. It's not, like... It's not game-breaking bug, but yeah, it's like a
I am
minor
overburdened.
thing that it's highlighting the wrong area. Yeah, Kyle, I'd agree, yeah. Not a big PoE guy, but I know what you're talking about. I just feel like it's a cool way to just to distinguish the Terror Zone. It's pretty neat. Go, Merc, go. Never played PoE because D3 sucked. Don't hate you for it. PoE is a different type of game, but if you can get into it, if you can get past like the huge... There's a huge learning curve, and you need to figure out how to use the path of builder, and you need to follow like the build exactly. And if you veer from it, it's screwed. There's no like... There's not a lot of tinkering in the game, and it's super overwhelming. But once you get past that, it is a lot of fun. It's just steroid... It's just like Diablo 2 clearing monsters on steroids. Ripping through map content, blowing shit up, it's pretty cool. There is definitely some things that are way over the top. Like, there's just way too much. There's actually so much animations that you could have like the most powerful dual PC setup ever, but the actual game itself can't actually render everything that it's trying to throw up onto the screen. So your screen turns into a blur. You can't really...
I am overburdened.
You could have like 3090. You could have a 4090 when it comes out, and it's not the card, it's the actual game itself can't render all the shit it's trying to show that's blowing up on the screen. So DB Terror 33. I don't have a ton of experience on D3. Like I said, I got about 200 or 300 hours on PoE. I have about 500 hours on Last Epoch, and I have like whatever X amount of thousands on D2. D3, I've only like I didn't have the money to have a computer growing up to play D3, so I never really got a chance to play it. And I did do a playthrough recently. Well, not recently, like 2 years ago. The colors and stuff, it's a little bit too kind of wowy for me, but yeah. I didn't miss much. Never tried Grim Dawn, no. Really looking forward to Last Epoch though. When that game comes out in multiplayer, it's a really... highly recommend you guys give it a shot. It's kind of like the best of... Like, as modern day ARPG influences, it still feels like D2. Each individual skill has its own skill tree. So imagine Blizzard, you can increase the radius, you could increase the damage, you could make the shards that hit the ground leave frozen ground, like, you could increase the duration of the spell. You can turn it from, like, being a cast spell to, like, a self-cast spell that follows you around. Like, that's just random examples, but every single individual skill that a character has, it has its own individual skill tree. And then you have 3 different ascendancies for each character. So similar to PoE, you can ascend into 3 different trees. So there's a ton of, like, it's way more involved than the current D3 skill tree. Or, sorry, D2 skill tree for sure. It should be getting multiplayer pretty soon. Yeah, I should check out Grim Dawn. People keep bringing it up. But it's more... Like, if PoE is super over-the-top complicated, and then D3 is... If you think it's too straightforward and linear, Last Epoch is like a mix of the two. Last Epoch, you can pick it up, you can do a playthrough, not really know what's going on, you can still get through the game. But as soon as you get to the endgame content, you're going to get kind of stonewalled, but you can sort of figure it out yourself. Where PoE, if you just go in not knowing what you're doing, you're going to get stonewalled like midway through the campaign and you won't be able to do anything. So it's a little bit more forgiving than PoE, but when you actually reach the upper echelon of like the hardest content, you have to have a properly built character. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, in my opinion. I have not played Torchlight. Not a big fan. I don't like kind of the WoW-y style, cartoony, bright colored graphics sort of stuff. Not a big fan. DB Terror 34. Yeah, sorry, someone asked above what game I'm talking about, NJ or NG. Talking about Last Epoch.
How may I help you?
Another spiritual successor to D3. Now, I'm not sure if, like, D3 might blow Last Epoch out of the water. Last Epoch, when it has multiplayer, it might kind of have its own refined base. Small, like, you know, we'll see. I think D3 or D4 is going to be huge, though. See, a lot of people have said that, Dan, and I will admit that my take on the game is super shallow because I've never played it. I've just seen some footage. Looks wowy, kind of cartoony. I don't like it. But that is definitely, like, superficial. Like, I haven't actually had a chance to experience it. A lot of people have said it's a really polished... Well, isn't 2 really good? But 3 was a steaming pile of crap.
I am overburdened.
That's the truth. Now, is it fair to say that D3 isn't a challenge, though? Because you know when you got those, when guys like Rax or Redigio, when they do like the absolute highest possible push of riffs, like, don't you think that that is challenging content? Brunsky, were you invited when D4 came out? I can neither confirm or deny that I have access to the game. If I did tell you, I'd have to kill you. And I don't want to kill anybody. Plead the fifth.
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
Oh, it's not? Like I actually thought like the highest possible tiered like rated like riff content was actually very challenging. And just people don't ever usually get to that. That being said, I don't have a ton of D3 experience, so I don't know if I'm just talking out my ass. But you guys don't think like the smooth combat feel of D3 put into D4 with like the darker look of D2 with open world concept of like WoW and like world boss events, and if they kind of scale item progression kind of similar to, well, see that, yeah, like that's what I'm literally asking, City Below. Like if I'm an idiot and Greater Rift 150 is super challenging, that's actually what I'm trying to like ask and confirm. Like I don't actually know because I don't have that much time into D3. I'm I don't know, what was it? Next Terror Zone number, guys? I don't know. 35, I think. I'm going to try to largely shift to Diablo 4 when it comes out. Probably a 70-30 split of Diablo 4 to Diablo 2 content. Kind of depends on how much, like if it's a very well received, like good game launch, people like the game, I could even shift higher than that. If the game sucks, maybe less than that. I don't know. We'll see.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, like if it's visually less toned down with in terms of like, you know, color palette and that, which obviously it is. If you look at any footage, obviously it is. If it has kind of smooth feeling combat, item progression similar to Diablo 2. I think it has potential. And I think one of the biggest things people are sleeping on is, well, if D4 sucks, then I don't know. I don't know. If D4 sucks, I might scale back quite a bit on YouTube and streaming. Like, I don't know. I love D2, it's my favorite game, but I feel like I've done everything that you could do in the game, and I just don't see myself... If D4 sucks, I just don't see myself making Diablo 2 content for another 10 years. Like, does that make sense? Like, eventually the updates are gonna slow down for D2, so I just don't leave us. Yeah, I'm not doing an ethereal grail. I'm not gonna do a billion runs to get all F items and whole grail, and just at a point I'm eventually gonna like shift to another game, right? Or just not do it anymore. Like, we'll see. We'll see. Could maybe do Path of Exile. I don't know.
I can't carry anymore.
But we're just going to assume that D4 is going to be amazing. I hope it is for everybody. Do PvP. I do kind of want to get a Wind Druid set up. I don't want to do like where you need to like have this gear for this thing, this gear for this thing. I'd rather just go like... I did read up on some builds. Like, I think the 163 FCR, 99 FHR, Suicide Branch. Like, I remember reading up on the video, or sorry, reading up on the guide. It was Crown of Ages. I forget what was in the Crown of Ages helmet. Suicide Branch, 20 FCR Amulet, FCR Rings, Spirit. I think it was Racket and Smash and Trang's Gloves or something. It was 163 FHR, 99 FHR. Had DR, just a Wind Druid. Just like a double burst COA. Just a all-around build that, like, I read that it's a pretty solid all-around build. It's not like I think there's like the Whirlwind Sin, Bone Necro, or like depending on what you're playing, like there's goes up and down. I don't know a ton about it, but from what I was reading, that like a Wind Druid is like a good all-around build. Just to have gear up for like one character, maybe, but we'll see. Yeah, you guys can join my game. It's whatever DB Terror. Forget 37. It's open for anybody who wants in right now. And yeah, Crown of Ages isn't too bad. I even have a 220 Caster Amulet. It's just not a really GG one. It's 2 elemental skills, 20 FCR, and a tiny bit of life and a tiny bit of mana. It's not like a GG, but 2 burns is fine. COA is fine. I don't have GG FCR rings, but I have figured out. If I do ever do PvP, that'd be the character I would use. And maybe it's a little bit better now that you can summon all your summons at once, but I don't really know. From what I've seen, it's like first person to tele stomp the other person. Use your wolves to like eat up some hammers or whatever, and then they did say that they were committing to, what was it, quarterly updates, which is cool. I might not actually, like, the amount that I can play, I might just stick with, like... Because I'm assuming there'll be, like, a seasonal and non-seasonal sort of setup, but... Oh, you can't do a bunch of summons? Interesting. Maybe go, like, 5 Spirit Wolves or something. I wonder, or what about? There's got to be some sort of Raven Druid. Because if you have like 6 ravens doing 6k damage, you just gotta like telly stomp and all the ravens hit. You don't think so? Or are you, so you think it'll be the same characters, there's just new seasonal themes, so like new quests to do, new cosmetics, but you don't think there'll be like a ladder and a non-ladder? That might actually work out okay for me. Because again, I won't be able to play like a ton, so I might like yeah, I don't know exactly. So DB Terror 37 for anybody who wants to join. DB Terror 37. Yeah, I can see the damage being insane because when I tested it on PTR, I think the ravens were 6k per hit or something like that.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Haven't found anything. I saw a white dimensional shard drop. Yeah, DB Terror 37. Anybody wants to join? Random open public MF games, which I have jumped from level 88 to 90. So 2 levels. Not ideal Terror Zone spawns, but we'll do 1 more Terror Zone, so hopefully we get like give us cows, man. Give us cows.
I can't carry anymore.
I honestly don't do enough PvP to know. I don't see why like a 200 FCR fireball sorcerers wouldn't be good, but then again, I don't really know. I know there's rules around stacking like certain types of like you can't just stack like if you know you're going up against fire sorcerers, you can't just stack like Rising Sun and 2 Dwarf Stars. So you literally just get healed, but I don't know fully. Level 90. I gone from 88 to 90 in, I guess, the duration of like almost 3 hours. Firewall is used a lot. Interesting. Interesting. Wonder what is Ballardin a zealot with? Wait, yeah, I think he's a Tesla then. Cause I see a conviction aura, but he's slamming shit with zeal. Gotta be a Tesla then, right? Telling you, my best friends on ladder are gonna be the ones that play Fist of Heavens, Conviction Paladin. You guys are gonna literally be my best friend because you're gonna boost my Fire Druid damage so much. What PC do you have, Marinelle? Because I think that the minimum specs, like, I think you can get, especially with, like, technology and the way that it just keeps getting better and better, like, you should be able to get, like, a DB Terror 38. I know everyone's financial situation is different, but you should be able to pick up a laptop somewhere in the range of, like, $500 to, like, $800, which that might be out of someone's price range. But, like, I'm assuming you can get a laptop for around $800 with like a 3050 in it, which is way above the minimum spec requirement to play the game. Or yeah, you can just buy a Switch, you could buy a PlayStation 5. Like you could just buy a PS5 and play on console. There's not crossplay though, that's the unfortunate thing is... I kind of wish now that there's like console has access to servers, it would be cool if everybody could just play together because you'd have even more of a player base, but there's cross progression, but there's not cross play, which would be cool if there was cross play, but
I can't carry anymore.
I think didn't they commit to crossplay on D4? Yeah, D4 is confirmed. Yeah, I think so, Cal. I think you're right, Kyle. I think I remember seeing that on but I mean, maybe they could do it. Like if you already have cross progression, I don't see why you couldn't do crossplay, but then again, I don't know anything about the back end and the server. Like maybe it's more of a nightmare to do that than what we think. I know can't you spam a button on a controller to auto pick up items faster than somebody else? Like I remember someone mentioning that a while ago. So that might cause some issues like fighting for items for bail drops, but I always think more of a player base to play with is kind of better, but I think with Terror Zones, I don't think people are going to really farm a lot of Bale, to be honest. Unless you get a World Stone Keep, then you kind of clear through World Stone Keep, kill Bale. But besides that, I don't think you're going to see a lot of Bale runs. The meta for experience has shifted significantly. You spam the button and it triggers it before the icon pops up. There you go. Thank you, Mango. It's already a shit show, though, trying to, like, click for items. It's one of the worst things about D2, in my opinion. DB Terror 39. Yeah, I think one of the worst things is you're all circled around Bale, 8 people. You know what the worst part is? Start of a ladder, you got 2 people doing damage to Bale. You know everyone's sitting at the perimeter so they don't die. And when Bale gets right down to a little sliver of health, everybody magically gravitates towards Bale so that you can all mouse click fight. It is one of the worst things D2 ever.
Hello.
I stand by that. It is the worst. Clicking for drop items from Bale or Diablo or boss farming is the top 3 worst things about D2. 100%. I'm going with it. You could say like botting is number 1. I don't know. That is number 2 for me. It is the worst.
I am
Worst.
overburdened.
You love the mayhem? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's got a different take on that. How would you see it fixed? Oh, okay, I've mentioned this before, but people have like lost their shit. Has anybody played in a group in PoE before? Does anybody know how gear rolling or drops work in PoE? So if you kill the monster, the item that like it'll drop and it'll be grayed out for the other character, but it'll be white for you, and you'll have like 3 seconds to pick it up, and then it becomes everybody can pick it up. Like some form of that, but only for bosses, I think would be a way to address it. I'm not saying make everything like that, but just for bosses exclusively, I don't think it would be the worst thing ever. But I imagine that would probably be a nightmare to kind of code. Whenever you mention personal loot, the instant reaction is, oh, you mean Bale's gonna drop 7 Shakos instead of 1 Shako? Like, no, there's other ways to do that. You can make it so Bale drops 8 items and he picks 1 item randomly for every character, and they have 3-second window to click on it, and then everybody can click on everything. Like, there's ways to do it. Like, a lot of people think it means 8 Shakos. Like, nah, it doesn't mean 8 Shakos. But as a whole, for all farming, like, I don't know if personal loot is, I don't know. But that's only if you go based on whoever gets the kill. I just mean if there's, say, if he drops 8 items, randomly just distribute the 8 items between the people. Not doing it on like a per kill basis, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like it, but everybody's got a different take, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, some people maybe think it's nostalgic and they like it. Not me, but I genuinely believe that, with the exception of you can make debates about Sunder Charms, which is fine, but I think with Terror Zones, the changes they made in patch 2.4, like loot always showing, auto gold pickup, quick cast, like, I think the game is in a lot better state than what it was. Like, I actually can't even... I'm quick cast all the way. I can't go back to... I cannot go back to playing without quick cast. I think quick cast is the single greatest, like, quality of life change that they introduced in the game. It is... The original way of casting spells is... I can't actually play that way anymore. Quick cast is just so convenient. Yeah, well, from what we know with Diablo 4, the reason why it's smart loot based is because they're having somewhat limited or restricted trading. Now, we've talked about this hundreds of times before in chat. A lot of people want full-on trading, which that has a lot of pros to an ARPG. Like, the biggest pro is it just creates like a trading community, and it just helps, like, it's just really good for any ARPG, right? Like, it's just freaking awesome. But it does have the ramifications of, if every single item can be tradable, it does promote botting. There's no way that you can argue against that. If they made it so that runes could not be tradable in D2, or items could not be tradable in D2, if they did that, nobody would buy, right? Because there'd be no point to buy. So, from what we know so far, D4's approach is some items can be traded infinitely, some items can only be traded once, some can only be traded in a guild, and then some cannot be traded. So the reason why they have some form of smart loot in the game is to try and find a balance between between everything, but restricting trading to an extent reduces botting, but then it has implications for like healthy active trade. Right? There's both ways they can go. And they actually have already committed and said that it's not full-on smart loot. It's just you're more likely than not to drop an item for your character, but it's not guaranteed. Like, you'll still drop other character classes. It's just you're more likely to drop. Yeah. And yeah, like, there's things I don't like about the restricted trading. Absolutely. There's definitely things I don't like about it. But I do like... I think people that hate botting, I think, can appreciate the notion of, like, how it does eliminate or reduce botting. So, like, I'm not actually even openly saying which way I think like is better, because I haven't really played a ton of games that have restricted trading. I'm just saying that obviously it kind of reduces botting, or reduces real money trading websites. That's another thing too. If you can't trade items, even if they have perfect anti-botting, you could still do real money trading websites. That completely takes away real money trading. So, but it has other ramifications, which everybody's point today about, like, not liking it, or, you know, it's entirely valid. I'm just trying to, like, speak openly about both ends of the spectrum. I'm just curious, just kind of trying to gauging everybody's thoughts. Now that we know how monetization for Diablo 4 is going to work, which, by the way, DB tier 41, guys, DB tier 41, do you guys... Are you fine with cosmetics? Do you hate cosmetics? Do you not care as long as you can't purchase power? Do you think that being able to purchase cosmetics takes away from the incentive to like earn cosmetics like other games have? Like you get a big achievement, you get a special cosmetic, which is a fair point. Just kind of curious what you guys think. My take on it is as long as it's not power related, I don't actually care. And looking at some of the D4 skins, some of the free ones looked just as cool as... Some of them actually look better, in my opinion, than the paid one. But, yeah, I don't know. You're good with purchasing cosmetics? I haven't really dropped anything crazy, today. 30 all-res Viper Magi. No high runes, nothing. Has it been that GG? Like, if a cosmetic shop popped up in Diablo 2, but if they made a ton of money on it and it resulted in, like, an Act 3, or sorry, an Act 6 and, like, other shit, would you, like, be furious? Or would you not care? Or would you rather pay a $30 expansion fee for an Act 6? Like, you can go both ways, right? You don't have to do cosmetics. You could do just paid expansions, but... You know what's funny about the auction house is I never played D3, so I have no idea other than... Like, how did the auction house work? You used it to trade items, and then you could get money? Or you could get Blizzard money that you could collect and eventually turn into Blizzard dollars or some shit. I never got to experience it or play it. Like I said, I didn't have the money growing up to have a computer that could play D3, but in-game gold or real money. Okay. Huh. I don't like the idea of real money, but because wouldn't that foster people botting like crazy to sell items to make real money? Isn't that just the same thing as D2J's? Like, I don't know. I don't really want to speak on it because I don't know what enough.
I am overburdened.
DB tier 42. How many Thunder Charms have I found? I've found 15. Just kidding, Proxer. They can't drop yet. They drop on October the 6th. When Season 2 begins, we'll actually get Thunder Charms. Feeling a Burren's gonna drop? We'll see. An item for item would be good? I don't follow.
It is an honor to serve you.
That's a... I mean... I prefer Hydra and Frozen Orb, now that Hydra is like a really good skill to use. Prior to Hydra being good, my favorite dual spec was always Blizzball. I was never really a fan of Frozen Orb and Meteor because one skill has a cooldown, and then the other one has the casting delay. Like when Meteor is sitting there waiting to drop. So I never liked Frozen Orb and Meteor. Blizzball was always nice because you could cast Blizzard. There is a cooldown, but you can cast it and it's instantly there, and then you can spam your Fireball. But Frozen Orb, the combination with Hydra, is pretty good. It's very safe to play too because you can kind of cast Hydras in front of you and just hang back and cast your Blizzard, let it do AoE damage. So that's probably, I think, the best way to go. Plus, the funny thing about Blizzball is there's so many synergy points to max out Blizzard versus Hydra and Frozen Orb have less. So it's just basically 17 into Cold Mastery, 20 into Frozen Orb, everything else into Hydra, Fire Mastery, and the synergies. So it's actually a pretty solid build in my opinion. Or, what's up, Elzoroth? How are you, ma'am? Right, so you could do Orb Ball. Right. Replace it with Orb Hydra. Oh, you did replace it with Orb Hydra in 2.4. I'm not a big fan of Hydra, actually. Like pure Hydra. I'd rather go Fireball, actually, than pure Hydra. The only thing that's cool about going pure Hydra is if you use a lower res wand, pure Hydra can Moat Trick Mephisto a little bit quicker than Blizzard can. So, especially if you get like a level 2 lower res, you can actually, like level 2 lower resistance, cast your 6 Hydras. You just kind of hang back and chill while the Hydras do the work instead of like constantly spamming your Blizzard. Well, it's a different way to Moat Trick Mephisto, but besides that, I'd rather just go Fireball. Fireball Nova's your choice, okay? Nice. I'm level 90. So I actually gained 2 levels today. That's true. One's like active point and shoot. You kind of get in monsters' faces. Hydra, you can kind of hang back a little bit safer. I agree. Okay, 2 more minutes. I don't think we even... one more. DB Terra 43. Devin, this is the actual server. Patch 2.5 is live. The only thing is we don't have access to Thunder Charms dropping until Season 2. So that's October the 6th. The Terror Zones are implemented live in the server right now. So if you want to join in the game, man, or just experiment on yourself later tonight, they're open to everybody. Blue Sacred Armor. No, Terror Zones are going to be ladder and non-ladder. The latest update, they changed it to being Terror Zones would be everywhere. It's the Thunder Charms are exclusive to ladder-only content. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that they made them on... Like, there's a lot of people that just like to grind on ladder. Like, they don't... They just like to, you know, jump on, play for 5-10 hours a week, slowly build their character. They don't want to start from scratch on a new ladder. So it's cool that that player base has the opportunity to... Ancient's Way and Icy Cellar. Nice. Do some Ancient's Way. I had a couple when streamers were running decon walks at the start of ladder. But, last, like, 2 months, month and a half, I've been doing variety streaming or single player. See, I think this area is going to be really good for Fire Sorceress. Next to no fire immunes. Decent monster density, not amazing, but... Yeah, fair enough. I get that. I get that coming. Terror zones are randomly selected every hour, correct? Now we'll go on the Icy Cellar, one of the nastiest areas in the game to magic find, in my opinion. Like, if you're down here with a Sundered Lightning Charm, you have negative, like, 30, 40 res, souls are gonna rip you a new one. You, like, are gonna have to stack,
At your service.
like, Sorb gear, and I don't know, it's just gonna be a nightmare. Well, some Sunder Charms, I think you can easily counteract them. Like, if you were to use, like, Rising Sun Amulet, you know, or Flickering Flame, you know, Dwarf Star, like, Fire Res Boots, like Alder's Boots, or Inferno Strides, like, there's a ton of ways you can kind of counteract low Fire Res. There's some Lightning Absorb gear, so you can have Spirit Keeper for Helmet, T-Gods, Wisp Projector Rings, but there's less, and there's even less for Cold. I think the only sources of Cold Absorb, correct me if I'm wrong, Ravenfrost and what's the belt that gives you +2 to Blizzard? That belt? Snow Clash. Are there other sources of Cold Absorb that I don't know about?
I am overburdened.
Oh, Nightwings has Cold Absorb? I thought Nightwings was +2 to all skills, dexterity, and plus cold damage. Oh, Black Oak Luna, yeah. Okay, and I need to retake a look at Nightwings, because apparently it has Cold Absorb. And, yeah. Yeah, the Druid Helmet is Spirit Keeper. Which I was debating rocking that on my Fire Druid. The only reason I was thinking about putting a Fire Facet into it, because it has plus maximum poison resistance, Lightning Absorb, and Cold Absorb. So you pair that with, like, Wisp Projector Ring and a Dwarf Star, and I could have, like, an immortal Druid. Did everybody leave? No one wants to farm the Ancient's Way? Ancient's Way is the worst terrorized zone ever. Frostwind has? Okay, I should rephrase. What are the items that people will actually use? Because I don't think anyone's going to use Frostwind, but just join my game. Next one, Miko, it's not password. It's first come, first serve. No, that's really been ironed out. The initial server issues are basically gone. Like, there's a queue up wait screen, but I've never ever had to wait longer than like 5 minutes to get into the game. Stability's been pretty good. There's like been a couple weird scenarios where all of a sudden my ping will jump up to like insane, but I have 47 ping, 165 FPS. So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely way better than the shitstorm of when the game launched, that's for sure. Did they mess up colorblind mode? Oh, that sucks. If anyone wants to join, DB Terror 44. Yeah, definitely do it, Virtuous. Like, it's big content updates to the game. New areas, new ways to magic find. I like to make the argument that meta has shifted a little bit because, like, fire is really strong now. But some people make the counter argument the meta is the same. The strong got stronger. I still think characters like the Fire Druid are taking big leaps forward, but yeah, now's the time to oh, it's all purple? Oh, that's because like the purple hue messes up. Okay. Messes you up when you're in colorblind mode? Okay. That sucks. You know, a funny thing about the Sunder Charms is, say you're playing in an area that has favorable immunities, you can just put the Sunder Charm in your cube. Like, you don't have to wear it, right? Quick little adjustment. Throw the Sunder Charm in your cube. Fire Druid was always in a weird spot, because with really good gear, like, if you had, like, Phoenix, Infinity, you could farm cows, like, way faster than Opposer Sorceress. Because you just cast Fissure, the cows run through the Fissure, everything melts instantly. But then you go to, like, Chaos Sanctuary and get hit with a lot of hard fire minions, the build was pretty slow. So it was powerful, but niche. But that's, like, completely flipped on its head with Sunder Charms, because now, with, like, Phoenix, Infinity Mercenary, some other negative res gear like a Fire Facet Sword, you can just completely rip apart everything in Chaos, excuse me. So, and apparently do Ubers now with a Fire Druid. Which, being able to do Ubers with a caster, which you actually could do it before, it was just very, 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 very challenging, but doing Ubers with a caster, it kind of takes away, like, that was like the one thing Melee had, was Melee could clear Uber Tristram, right? But a lot of people got super upset, but I find it weird because I need to make a new game. Or pick up a TP scroll that dropped. TP scrolls.
I am overburdened.
So some people don't like how, like, a decked out Fire Druid can clear your Tristram now. It's fair enough. But you hate that, but you're fine with a, like, level 30 Smiter doing it? It's weird, right? Because you think, like, I understand the argument how it increases the disparity between caster and melee, and there's not really a reason to rock melee anymore, because that was one thing melee could do, but almost nobody did Ubers with a Werebear or with a Fury Druid. Like, I messed around with it because I like doing it, but almost everybody would just run a Smiter. So I find it an interesting argument that it's true that they don't like how the gap is spread, but if you have, like, a 25 high rune Fire Druid, is it that big a deal that the Fire Druid can now clear Ubers? I don't know. What's up, Abaft? I like playing with these summon druids. Pretty cool. I've met more summon druids today's stream than what I did all of last ladder. Very cool stuff. If you have endgame gear, you should be able to do everything. See, and I do largely, like, they could make one simple change to Smite, but you could argue it would ruin the Smiter, which it kind of does, but it would also make it so that, like, you'd want to run other melee characters. Just make it so Smite it's not always guaranteed chance to hit. If you did that, you'd flip ladder on its head. Wouldn't have everybody getting torches on day 2. Like, you'd actually have to put together a solid melee character and work together as, like, a support group, and it'd be pretty challenging. But then you could argue you'd ruin the Smiter, which is, you don't necessarily ruin the Smiter, it's just your Smiter has to have better gear. kind of interesting discussion point. Kicks in Uber meta. Oh, I didn't know that. Just a PvP penalty? I didn't know that. But if they did that to Ubers, it would be flip everything on its head. Which, is anybody in chat actually genuinely, like honestly, has anyone in chat genuinely tried to do Uber Tristram with like a Fury Druid before? It's actually pretty challenging because you're trying to Fury, and if you start getting surrounded by too many summon spawns, you'll start hitting them instead of focusing on Veil. You're not guaranteed chance to hit, so you really need to stack like a ton of extra gear. Like you need, I've seen dual angelic combos with enchant pre-buff. There is other combos like Metal Grid to Ravenfrost rings. Like you can do it, and with good gear, like yeah, you can run through Ubers, but it's really fun going in with like moderately geared characters that aren't smiters. It actually makes Uber Tristram a pretty big challenge, in my opinion. Yeah, like Bear, if you have like Ribcracker, Cappy Resistance, a Maul Bear can go in and do it, yeah. But it's a lot more gear dependent though, trying to do Ubers with without a smiter. Which I like. It just makes things more fun. I don't think it's necessary, but it does help out a ton. I always struggled with like any Uber Tristram attempt I would ever do. The mini Ubers would go fine, Diablo is fine, Veil is fine. It's Uber Mephisto is very challenging because you guys know how you kind of like say like this ice back is Mephisto. Get all your summons. You know how you telestomp and step off. So you telestomp, you step off. All the Ubers focus on him, and you cast like your what do you call it? Terror, so that the minions kind of whatever. But if your mercenary goes down, it's pretty much over. Because your mercenary is your source of like open wounds, so it's very hit and miss. I've like casted Decrep and Clay Golem, and then Telestomp Uber Mephisto, and it works out fine. But if Mephisto happens to focus on the Merc, then the Merc dies right away. And but yeah, always challenge with that. Now, I don't know if the meta shifted a little bit with the Frenzy Mercenary. Because the Frenzy Mercenary, you can use other weapons, you can get open wounds. I have actually had a Frenzy Mercenary tank Uber Mephisto. Made a video on that a while ago, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so maybe Frenzy Barb shifts that issue that I had with Summon Necro. I should try that out, Pedro. Ballardin, stay with me like glue, brother. Give me that GG conviction, man. Stick with me like glue, please. Oh, really? You use life tap? Okay, I have a friend who's like very good at it. He just makes me look like, I'm not a good Summon Necro player, but he just makes me look like trash. I've seen him do combos of amp damage. Amp damage with all the summons, like just Mephisto dies in like 3 seconds. And I've also seen the Clay Golem Decrep option as well. So you can turn him to be super slow. It's not a build like... Least played build for me is probably the Necro. So I'm definitely like, there's room for improvement there on like... Could an Act 1 Mercenary not work? For Ubers? I think Aqua Mercenary would be horrible, wouldn't it? Yeah, see, like, I use the Udars, right? Azorith, but what I found is if the Mercenary dies, like, I was using an Infinity Mercenary with Duress, and I forget the helmet, but Duress was my source of open wounds. If the Mercenary died, then I lost my source of open wounds, and then I found it difficult to kill Uber Mephisto. But if I tele-stomped and Mephisto didn't kill my Mercenary, then Mephisto died instantly. So it was all based on whether or not the Mercenary died. But again, full-on admitting I'm not a top-tier Summon Necro player. Like, full-on admitting. But the basics, it's not that hard to figure out, right? You just tele-stomp, you run off, you cast your curse, and you cast, like, Terror to... Yeah. Always struggle with that a little bit. This is new patch 2.5, playing on ladder, which you guys can play with me right now if you want to. We're on ladder, not PTR. We have everything except for Sunder Charms will not drop yet. This is basically the new ladder. We're just playing the new ladder with DG characters from the previous ladder. Well, I was wondering if, like, a Summon Necro with a physical Sunder Charm and a Fire Sunder Charm would make the Summon Necro better. Because the Fizz Charm would ensure that anything you're amp damaging would be starting at 95, so you'll get the full negative 100, so everything will be at negative 100. So that would boost the damage against physical immune monsters that you break their curse, so you get a boost there. And then I'm wondering if with an Infinity Mercenary and a Fire Sunder Charm, if that will have a pretty big boost on Corpse Explosion damage. So I'm wondering if, like, two of them together, boosting Corpse Explosion and the amp damage potential. I'm wondering if Azorith, now that they've changed it to affect minions, Summon Necro will use Fizz Sunder. So you think it'll make a big difference? What about Fire 2 for Corpse Explosion? Or do you think or do you think that's dumb? Like, I'm just thinking Infinity Mercenary and that Fire Sunder for... Yeah, I guess a new game. Damien, what's going on, brother? I think there's some unexplored potential with that character. And I think that a physical Sunder will work pretty good with a multi-shot Boazon, especially if you get the low roll on physical damage taken. Especially if you're like a strafer using Atma's Scarab. Bit of a boost there. I'm not a big melee guy, but I genuinely believe that like a Whirlwind Barb or a Frenzy Barb is not going to benefit much. I really don't think so. Maybe with the reduced physical damage taken, it might be a better option now, but... No new rumors. Soul Drainers? See, that's interesting that you say that, Leadery, because I actually think the combination of the Terror Zones and the Sunder Charms is actually has a pretty big impact, I think. Like, I think 2.4 made 2 S-tier builds, Nova Sorceress and Foden. And everything else, it just brought, like, shitty D-tier builds that brought them to, like, B-tier at best. But I feel like Sunder Charms is gonna bring a like a fire druid up to S tier. And I just think it's cool that there's like so many new areas we can magic find and grind experience. I just think that's an underappreciated change. For someone who's done like years and years of like Chaos and Veil, it's nice that like nobody ever farmed the Ancient's Way. But look, here we go. We're 8-man squad, we're crushing Ancient's Way. It is... Yeah, I do agree that, what's that? 2 to bone, 6 FCR? The Cold Sorceress is an interesting one, because it doesn't actually increase her damage. What it does is if you drop it, it enables you to clear more content earlier on. So that, you could argue that is a big power bump, and it is. But when you get to actual, like, top tier fire to top tier cold, it's actually, I think fire and lightning is better, but yeah, I don't know. I like the varying stats on the charms. Okay, we'll go DB Terror 48. I like the varying stats, and I like the direction, but like if I had my ideal way of immunities, it would have been make every single immunity between 100 and 105. So that once you made Infinity, you could just do whatever you wanted to. I know people say, well, that puts a lot of dependent on Infinity, and that's true, but let's be honest, every single mercenary is either using Infinity, Insight, or Reaper's Toll. With the maybe with the 1 out of 100 exception of like a Faith mercenary or something, so it would have kept the initial grind the same. It wouldn't have made it any easier, and then it just would have opened up more build diversity at the end game once you've made Infinity. Sunder Charms unlocks that a little bit more, which some people argue for or against it. I'm kind of like on the fence. Some things I really like, some things I think they went a little too far, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, I just... couple adult dating websites. Just don't click on the link. It'll be okay. It'll be alright. Or hey, maybe you'll meet a really attractive lady clicking on the link. I don't know. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Azorrath, yeah, that's solid. I actually didn't even think about something like that. I actually suggested a 1/5 efficiency approach. So you'd only be getting on a Sundered monster with Infinity, instead of dropping past 86, you would only be getting about the same, or a little bit low. You'd be getting down to about 70. But then if you wanted to go crazy with stacking facets, you could bring it down even lower. So that's like another similar approach, which is a similar idea, just a different way of achieving it. Cheers! We could talk in DMs, brother. But yeah, I kind of... I don't know. Twitch is just turning me off lately. It's more like inconsistencies with the platform. I feel like they're out of touch with creators, and the chick getting 7 days for banging on stream is just like, come on. That and embedded views piss me the fuck off. Fucking don't like embedded views. Piss me the fuck off. Icy Cellar is scary. Yeah, it's not an like. I would, if I really wanted to optimize, I'd have like a T-Gods probably to try and eat up some of the soul damage. But we're just lazy. We just do some potting, but yeah. Embedded views, brother. I'll let my faithful moderator Chiz explain, because I've already explained it 3 times today and I just get tired of explaining it. Chiz! What the F is in beds? Gotta ask Chiz, man. Okay, boys, this is gonna be my final Terrazone run, and then I'm gonna shut it off for today. But before I shut it off, can I request 2 things? One, you slap a like on the stream. I'd appreciate that. Single, easiest, best way to spread the stream through the algorithm. Throwing a like on it is an amazing way to help me out. The second is if you guys are interested in joining my Discord. I want to try to throw together a couple really good community-based channels for Terrazone pushing and stuff like that. So, obviously, yeah. Any Discord joins would be awesome. And, I guess subs on YouTube, but I would imagine a lot of you guys are probably already subbed. Thank you, Icember. I appreciate that. Oh, gotta go repair. My mercenary is actually a little bit different. Shaft Stop with an Umbroon for massive DR and capped res. A perfect Ruby V-Gaze. So this combination is almost 50 damage reduction. E-Ruby is plus life. And then dual wielding Plague. So we're stacking a very high cleansing aura and also a very high chance to cast low resistance when struck. So you might ask, why are you running that combo? 2 reasons. One is I never achieved the wealth to make infinity on ladder. And second reason is I want to stack tons of DR, because the idea with this setup is the mercenary takes a pounding from monsters, and I purposely get him, like I'll purposely telestomp him and put him into monsters' harm's way to try and get him to proc low resistance. So I want him to be tanky, proc low res, but it's basically, it's a poor man's infinity. That's the best way to describe it. It's a poor man's infinity. If you, a Cham rune is about the equivalent of a Vex rune. It's kind of what it trades for. So 2 Vex runes to make 2 Plagues is a hell of a lot cheaper than 2 Burr runes to make it busy. I think it's my favorite rune bird that was introduced into patch 2.4, to be honest. That and Flickering Flame, I think, had the biggest impact. Obsession is just... Obsession is Hodo and Spirit put together, but maybe a little bit stronger if you have an insane GG base, but... It's white monsters are +2 of the character level of the person that created the game, Chiz. Champions are +4 and bosses are +5. What's FF? Oh, Flickering Flame. Yeah. Azorth makes some really sweet YouTube content if you guys want to check him out, by the way. I'm not sure about that, Bear Lion. I don't know if you'll definitely be able to, like, if you want Plague and you can't make it, like, when this character goes over to non-ladder, like, you can have the Plagues if you want. Like, I don't really care too much about non-ladder. So you can definitely get those rune words that way, like when the character's poured over. As far as rolling them, I don't think so. I think they're keeping them exclusive to ladder only. I could be wrong, but okay, boys, I think that is a full clear. That's a full clear. Yeah, has anybody played like a GG assassin with like dual plague claws? Like, did the lower res go off enough to make it really GG with like an Infinity Mercenary? Kind of curious. Let me know. Let me know in the next 10 seconds because I'm gonna do my closing remarks for stream. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out during my stream today. Yeah, tons of new subs, new memberships, super chats. Thank you so much. Not fully committed to leaving Twitch, but very likely going to be making YouTube a much more of a consistent stream platform. So thank you for hanging out. Was a good stream. Hope you guys are excited for patch 2.5. I am. I'll be doing, like I said, on Discord. Oh, there you go. Chat69. If you guys want to check out the best adult dating website, there's the place to go. But I'm going to try and do a lot of community-based content around ladder. So just doing group farming and terror zones and stuff like that. So that should be a lot of fun, I hope. Yeah, other than that, thank you so much for the support, guys. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys soon. Have a good weekend. Peace out, boys.